Good morning, Raptor freaks. Lexi out here. It's Thursday, and the Raptors are playing their fourth summer league game later tonight against the Golden State Warriors. 10 p.m. Eastern time is when we start for the game tonight. And the Warriors are the best record-wise team that the Raptors have faced at summer league. They've actually won games. The games we've played against three teams so far, none of those teams have won a game until they won games after we played them, but they hadn't won when we played them. And Golden State is sitting at 2-1 in their summer league record. They started their summer league in a poor way and lost, and then they've won two straight since. And I'm looking at their roster and how they played in summer league. They're very balanced. Also, they're not using the same squad every game. They've been kind of switching people in and out depending on who they want to take a look at. And they're not. It's weird. I don't know. The Warriors summer league team is I honestly some of the really good prospects they had last year are gone. That aren't even on the team anymore. Like Lester Quinones. That guy was like the best player on summer league for the Warriors last year. He's gone. He's not even in their franchise anymore. He's on another summer league team right now. So it's weird, man. Like this Warriors team, I wouldn't underestimate them just because they've won two straight. And in some ways, we don't want to be messed up right now on our way to trying to win the Summer League championship, seeing as we have the best odds by Vegas odds right now. The team's going to play to win. Well, let's play to win. No sitting anybody. Get those guys out there, Shed and Walter and AJ Lawson, and let's not play with our food. Looking at the roster for the Warriors, some notable players in tonight's game. Jackson Rowe, Canadian, he actually was the leading scorer in one of their wins. He is out of Cal State Fullerton as a 6'7" guard. Jackson Rowe, Canadian. So we'll see him against us tonight. One of the guys that we worked out before the draft from Australia, Alex Tuhey, will be in this game today as an Australian 6'8" guard. Well, if they play him, like I said, they've been doing weird stuff with benching different guys and playing different guys to get different looks at different people. So, yeah, Isaiah Mobley, the brother of Evan Mobley, is on the Golden State Warriors summer league roster, 6'8" center out of USC. So we'll see Isaiah Mobley, the brother of Evan Mobley. Who else is kind of of note? LJ Cryer, rookie out of Houston, friends with Jamal Shed. That should be a fun matchup. Jamal will have a person against him in this game that he's familiar with. And, there may be a little bit of extra personal between Jamal and LJ Cryer. So look out for that in today's game tonight. Those are kind of the names that I would go over. I can read the names for the rest of the team real quick for you guys. Rookie Taron Armstrong out of Australia. Australian player Taron Armstrong. I believe he came and worked out for the Raptors also. Jules Bernard out of UCLA. He's going to be playing. Marquise Bolden out of Duke is on that team. He's a third-year player in the NBA. Leopold Delaunay from France. He's a guard, 6'4". Javier Francis out of Houston also. So another Houston player. There's a couple of Houston guys that are going to get chummy with Shetty there. Coleman Hawkins out of Kansas State. Alex Higgins, Titsha, another Carnes player. So there's like three Australian players on the Warriors Summer League team, just so you guys know. Blake Henson out of Pittsburgh. Chris Mannon out of Vanderbilt. Gabe Madsen, who actually was the leading scorer in one of the games, out of Utah. Bez Mebang out of Yale. Chance McMillan, Texas Tech. Will Richard out of Florida. So, yeah, there's another guy from the championship Florida team. Elijah Martin, Will Richard. We'll get to battle each other tonight. Hopefully, we'll have to see. Dante Scott out of Maryland. Jaden Shackelford out of Alabama also. So, yeah, and the Summer League head coach for the Warriors is Lane Wilson, which is just one letter off of an iconic actor who played Dwight Schrute on The Office, American version. That's right. Lane Wilson is their coach. Not to be confused with Rainn Wilson. He spells it even exactly like Rainn Wilson with the double N on the first name. So he's Lane Wilson. but I wonder if he has like glasses and he looks like Dwight Schrute. That would be weird if the Warriors coach kind of looks like Schrute-ish later on tonight, and his name is Lane Wilson. That would be weird, man. That'd be very weird. All right, let's see what Trevor J is saying in the chat this morning. And words of wisdom, Commissioner Fun, how are you today? Still on that Las Vegas times, holding it down at the Summer League. Trevor J has been, burning the candle at both ends, waking up for the Raptor freaks and being on that West Coast, Western time, Mountain time. Just I appreciate you for going through this, Trevor. You're awesome. And I hope you've been having a lot of fun on your trip to Vegas for Summer League this year. Yeah, it seems like it's been a good time there for most people who have gone to Vegas. He's saying the world often leads us to believe that every blessing must be materialistic, causing us to undervalue the precious gift of life, family, health, and peace of mind. Yeah, we've been brainwashed, honestly, by the system that we live in. We have all of our priorities turned upside down. We have all of our natural, intrinsically part of us in ourselves, in the nature of the world. We're disconnected. We've been severed the ties, and it's been done by very evil people over time that have very bad intentions. And man was always supposed to be in its place in the ecosystem with the other things in the ecosystem, never to separate itself like this. In fact, the way that mankind has separated itself so much from God's natural creations on this earth is ungodly. It's ungodly. At certain points, it just gets the excess, the disconnect, the disregard, the distraction. It's all ungodly to an extent. So find stillness in yourself, find meditation, find the connection between you and the natural world now, because we need it now more than ever. And everybody is so far disconnected from the natural world and does not appreciate or value our natural environment. They're evil, they're fucked up, and they're fucking sending us all to hell on this planet because of their guilt, their greed in wanting to enrich themselves off of using the natural resources of this planet for their own gain. This is natural resources have been here for thousands of years. Who the fuck are you to take those natural resources and give yourself money just because, oh, I am this person, I have this claim, and I have this and this? No, that's bullshit. So yeah, I would say this is true. Materialism is one thing. If you find joy in your life solely from materialism, you're a sad, pathetic life, because you don't get any joy from connection, love, family, and can you appreciate health? Can you appreciate the natural world? Because if you can't and you're destroying it, you're evil and you're fucked and you're ungodly, is what I'm saying right there. Thank you, Trevor J, for your words of wisdom this morning. That's right. Trevor J saying, happy game day. Get one more tonight, right? Not just one more. Don't say just one more, because there's some more games after this. In fact, there may be 2 more Summer League games if we get this right, guys. That's right. We win tonight. We'll be 4-0. We'll be in a good position to be one of the final 4 teams at Summer League to play in a semifinal, which will mean, Trevor, 2 more Summer League games. And you know what? That's music to Raptors fans' ears. What? You mean Summer League doesn't have to end tonight? That's right. That's right. We were going to get a 5th game anyway, but why not a 5th game and a 6th game? Meaning a semifinal game and a final game to try and win the Summer League championship. And that's the thing. We ain't done. Don't tell me one more. We got 2 more after this. If we win tonight and we're sitting in the right spot, we win the next game, well, then we're going to that championship game, which is likely to be on Monday night. So, yeah, Trevor, I don't know how long you're staying in Vegas, but these games are continuing till probably Monday night. The Raptors may be playing on Monday night in Vegas for the championship of the Summer League. So you might need to change a flight, sir, is what I'm telling you right now. Trevor J saying FIFA might move the World Cup matches to Canada because of the U.S. immigration laws. No, don't even call it the U.S. immigration laws. Call it the U.S. Mass deportation and human rights violation. Call it all kinds of different things. Call it a Nazi embargo. The just all that bullshit. Yeah, and this is right. FIFA's smart. Because look, they want to make money off of this, and the U.S. is not being a good host. They're being dicks. So in some ways, it's like, y'all don't want to invite people to your party. You're going to be very this, and you're going to do this, and you're doing this. No, we don't want to have the party at your house anymore. No, because you're like being exclusionary, and you're also being like Nazis, and being fucked up with your immigration policies right now. So it's like, you know what? We already were going to go to Mexico and Canada. We're just going to give them all y'all's games too and put them in the facilities. And we're not coming to the United States for World Cup. I'm sorry. You act this way. It's not like, people want to come to your country. It's happening in major ways. I'm seeing more and more artists say we're not doing a tour in the United States right now in the current political climate. I know for sure Tom Green, who lives not far from me here in Ontario, came back from Canada from Hollywood. He's not doing any American tours for the rest of the year. He's only going to tour Canada for the fall. And there's a lot of musical artists doing the same thing. I'm not going to tour the United States right now. I'm sorry, American fans, but you will not get tour dates from me because I'm going to Europe. I'm going to Canada. I'm going to Asia. I'm going to every fucking place other than the United States. So there's a lot of boycotting going down in the U.S. on the down low. And the U.S. economy is suffering for it. And the only reason for all this to happen was Donald Trump. And, American people, if you're hurting economically, you have one person to blame. Don't listen to him. When he said Joe Biden, he means himself. Every single time he blames Joe Biden for something, he's telling on something he did. Everything they blame on liberals or woke people, they're doing. They're deflectors. And they actually tell you all the time what they're doing. They just blame the other side and just insert their names instead of the people they're blaming. And you will find exactly who to blame, seriously, because they actually tell on themselves pretty regularly. Whenever they're coming out and with attacks, they're usually attacking on issues that they're doing wrong, and they're trying to deflect the blame to other places, and they're actually doing it. The whole Hunter Biden thing, yeah, you should have been looking at Donald Trump Jr. It's like a whole book on like, oh yeah, that's how it is right there with them, because they actually tell on themselves all the time because they blame the other side and they'll say exactly what they're doing, the other side is doing. Yeah, it's crazy, man. But yeah, good job, FIFA. FIFA is a smart organization. They don't want to lose money, and being involved with the United States loses you money right now. That's just how it is. Trevor J saying SGA wins the best male athlete at the ESPYs last night. The ESPYs were last night. And SGA won best male athlete. That's fantastic. Yeah, I don't really care about the ESPYs. The ESPYs are a bullshit award ceremony that just was made up. It's so dumb. The ESPYs is just something they made up because the Oscars and the Tonys, it's not really mean shit. ESPYs, how do they even decide it? I mean, I don't disagree with their choice. I'm glad they did it. It's a prestigious thing for him. But once again, let's not act like the ESPY is anywhere near the level of Finals MVP, or any of the real awards that are in the world. Yeah, ESPYs, who cares? Who cares? They're just a glorified slap on the back, handshake, kind of rah, rah, rah for me kind of ceremony. In some ways, it's totally biased. It's totally media farce. And in some ways, I'm glad SGA won it. He should win it. And Adam Silver, he is the face of the NBA now. You can't do anything about it. He's now the face of the NBA. You can't decide who it is. It naturally has to work its way out. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the face of the NBA as of now. It could have been Nikola Jokic, but he don't want it. He don't want it. And you don't really want him to be the face of the league anyway. Like in some ways, Nikola was the face of the NBA, but he wasn't the right fit. In some ways, it's not what you guys are looking for. I mean, I know y'all want an American guy to be the face of the league, but it's not happening, all right? It's just not happening. If it wasn't going to be SGA or Nikola, it would be Luka or something like that, or Giannis. So, just let the face of the league be naturally who it is, and that's SGA right now. And he's a good one. He's a good one right there. That's right. Trevor's saying WNBA will introduce the 4-point shot at the All-Star game. This isn't new. This isn't new at all. We've got this stuff happening in the NBA All-Star game with 5-point shots and stuff in the celebrity game and stuff like that. 4-point shots in All-Star games. This is not anything new. So we'll just have to see how it goes for the WNBA format and the All-Star game. It'll be very interesting. All right, let's see. Trevor J saying WNBA wins. Atlanta beat the Chicago Sky. Minnesota beat Phoenix. Seattle beat Golden State. New York beat Indiana. And Las Vegas beat Dallas. Yeah, lots of action on the last night of the WNBA before the All-Star break, which started today. And yeah, they're going to have the All-Star break the All-Star game next week. And it'll be very exciting to see the All-Star game and the ladies of the WNBA take the court. And yeah, it's a good little All-Star group. They have the 3-point shooting contest Participants announced also. So yeah, WNBA, let's go. No ref report for it, and check your fantasy teams next week when we come back. Not now. You're on break. Don't have to check your teams right now because there's no games. Trevor J has brought up something interesting that we saw yesterday, that Victor Oladipo has done a private workout on the Raptors private court, wants to get back to the NBA. There's a picture of Victor Oladipo and the Raptors Wynn Casino Ballroom practice court with the signed Raptors behind it. Now, let's hang on a sec here. All right, I want to talk to you guys about that practice court. Even though we are the ones in there, we're not the only team that's using that practice court. Let's just put it that way. That practice court is getting rented out to other teams in there also. Although our stuff is all over the walls, there's been pictures the last few years with the Raptors practice court of other players and teams working out in there. So don't jump to the conclusions that the Raptors are trying to get Victor Oladipo right now just because he's in our practice court. It may very well be that his private workout to show where he's at was held there because it was just organized there, because I heard there were scouts from all kinds of teams in there watching him for that. So let's not just assume, Raptors Nation, that the Raptors are the only team or the one team that he is trying to work out for just because he's in our ballroom. Because I'm hearing the news and the rumors that it's the Bucks that are going after Victor. And in some ways, they're using him as the replacement for Damian Lillard. So that's what I'm hearing. The early front runner to land Victor Oladipo is the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, I would caution Bobby Webster and the Raptors to not even be interested, because honestly, that man was washed 2 years ago and had a career-ending injury, a botched surgery. They tried to fix it and they fucked it up. And he's not been right, but he's really trying hard to get back. And who knows, maybe he is right. But I wouldn't chance it. In some ways, we don't need that position. We don't need to tie up resources in him on a chance that he could just be okay. So it's like, it's not likely for us, guys. Even though you see him in our practice court, it's more likely that, like I said, the front runner I'm hearing right now is Milwaukee. Milwaukee will probably get Oladipo. Kaz is here. Good morning, Lex and Raptor Free Crew. Good morning to you, Trucker Kaz. Great to always have you in the chat. Nins is here. My guy Nins holding it down. Our admin on Discord. Our guy holding it down in the city of brotherly love and enemy lines for Raptors Nation in Philly Town. Look out in Philly Town. That's right. Good morning, Lex and Raptor Free Crew. Good morning to you, Nins. Always happy to see you. Nins, you know what? Do you know how to do those little faces like that? Like the one you just put in the comment? Because you know what? I may need to make you an admin on this channel too, like on the YouTube channel. Because if you're able to make like emoticons, I know it's going to get Fiercey to do it, but I want somebody who just kind of knows how to do it without me having to train them, because I don't know how to do it. So I don't know how to train Fiercey. But I'm just saying, I should try and get Fiercey to do it still. But in some ways, it's I don't know. I got to figure it out still, because we're going to need new emoticons at some point. We really are. Paul B's here. Good to see Paul B. Another great Raptor freak stateside in the great state of Wisconsin, holding it down for us. Paul B, how are you doing, man? A contributor and a help to this channel in so many ways. Lex, can you break down any differences you may have noticed between the heavy defense we're playing in Summer League and the double teaming we did the Tampa season that led to nonstop wide open threes? Oh, wow. This is a really advanced level question. This is the kind of question that Samson Folk would just, let's see if I can do my best, Samson Folk, and answer this question right. All right. So basically, this is the big difference, Paul. It's the personnel. Yeah, that Tampa team was not a very talented team. That Tampa team did not have the highest caliber of defensive players like our team does right now. That team wasn't oriented this way. I mean, in some ways, they could have played that kind of way under Nick in the Tampa season with Terrence Davis, DeAndre Bembry, Malachi Flynn, Freddie Gillespie. It was just a different team. Yuta Watanabe. It's just that team just didn't have the dog, the same kind of pedigree, so to speak. Speaking of dogs. That these guys have. Chucky Hepburn is an ACC Defensive Player of the Year. Elijah Martin is a strong man. Colin Murray Boyles, one of the best stocks players in the SEC and college basketball overall last year. These guys, when they got drafted, I looked at them and I would say, what's the common denominator? Well, these guys all are good stealers. They steal the ball like crazy. So it's like, what is Bobby doing here? He's like stacking steals from the draft. And well, now we see what he's doing in the summer league with the spam steal defense. It's totally different than the Tampa stuff you're talking about. You know, that the recovery time for different players, like coming to recover to get to the jump shot in the corner, like you're talking about, the 3-point shot that killed us for so many years under Nick Nurse. Well, we have better guys hedging and covering ground to recover in better ways. In some ways, they're faster. In some ways, they have higher basketball IQs to sense what's happening faster, to get to that spot, to get to the corner, to stop them before they get the 3-point in the corner off clean. So it's personnel differences. Honestly, the team in Tampa was not a good team. And well, it's not that our team's totally good yet. They're young and they're full of promise, but they're gonna be good. I'm pretty sure they'll grow into it. But yeah, that's really what it is right there. I would also say Darko's system of trapping is different than Nick's. Nick's seemed to have a lot more gambling where guys would go out of position. I think that Darko does not want anybody going all out and flying by people unless it's a closeout on a shot, like in the corner. Go all out and fly at them. But otherwise, if they're just dribbling or doing stuff, don't run at them out of the top of the key and run past them so that you're out of the play. And all of a sudden we're playing a 5-on-4 with them having 5 on offense. Yeah, that was where we'd screw up. Is Gary Trent Jr. would overplay this for a steal, and he'd be out of the play at that point, and it's 5-on-4 on defense because he's behind and he's trying to come back. Now, in some ways, it looks like when Darko does the trapping, they're coming at angles, so they're not going straight out and leaving the play. So they're coming in angles, and then they have ability to turn and switch and go other places off of them easier and not have to recover so much. So yeah, those are a couple of the reasons right there, Paul. And I love your question, man. Paul B, I'm going to give you a big dunk for returning to the chat and giving me a high-level question here, man. I think it's really the biggest difference is the talent. That talent on that Tampa team couldn't play a defense like that exactly right. You have to have the effort, the will to have the effort also. And these guys had that will on our team right now. Paul B, you're at 9, my guy. You got the RJ Barrett. Look at that. You're the hometown hero, my guy. There you go. Stargate is saying the Olympics may not be far behind. Yeah, I could see this, man. As I said before, China is already preparing for that eventuality. They are chomping at the bit to host another Olympics. Yeah, they enjoyed doing it with Beijing. And I mean, the U.S. is just dropping the ball in general in their life, man. They want to defund public television, and NPR right now is the biggest flavor of the last couple of days. It's really they're against free press. They're against free speech. They're against anything that is not with the MAGA agenda. So they're going after their enemies. They're going after intelligence. They're going after education. They're going after free speech and free media. And that's totalitarian dictator bullshit. And the U.S. is just slipping into it right now. The people have got to fight. They cannot be scared. They got to understand what is right and what is wrong. And they have to fight the wrong that is the presidency right now. Because there's a lot of wrong going on down there right now. There's a lot of wrong. Fiercey's here. Good morning, fam, and happy Thursday. Game day, baby. That's right. We're playing the Warriors tonight, 10 p.m. I hope you guys can stay up. I'll be on the Discord talking during the game. So hopefully you can join me and we can watch the game and talk about it as it's going on. That'd be a lot of fun. Stargate saying Jaylen Brown has worked out in the ballroom in the past. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen different people come in there work out. Actually, the Raptors may rent out to the other teams sections of time where they're actually paying us part of the fee that we pay the Wynn Casino to have that ballroom. It's like we rent the space and it's ours for most of the time, but there may be designated hours where it's like, hey, Sacramento Kings got the Raptors ballroom for an hour or something like that. That stuff does happen during Vegas. There's a lot of time during the Vegas Summer League. And we're not the only ones in there working out, just so Raptors Nation knows. Reggie's saying, yep, Lex, as an NBA player, Victor can use any NBA court he wants to hold a private workout. It's in the NBA rules. Yeah, and it maybe just it's the most convenient. I mean, in some ways, the Raptors ballroom setup is getting legendary and kind of getting a preeminence. It's just the way it looks. Some people didn't know what it was. Were saying, is he working out in somebody's living room? I'm like, no, man, it's just the coolest, weirdest ballroom in the world for practicing. And now I've looked at the roof in different angles, and I'm not as worried about the roof messing up shots anymore. It's pretty high roof, and those guys can get a good arc on their shots. It's too bad they can't do the Robert Parrish rainbow arc though in there, because it's like even with that, those ceilings are not high enough to get a Robert Parrish arc in there. All right, let's keep going. Smooth saying it's like when Jimmy Butler is in Toronto, he uses the Raptors facility to train. Yeah, I don't know if he uses our specific facility OVO or anything. He's not allowed to go to OVO. They're not allowed to go to OVO. OVO has a card. It's proprietary. It's like a fort. He may be able to go to the practice facility on the 3rd floor in the Scotiabank Arena or our court if it's set up at that time. Yeah, those are the areas where the opposing team can do stuff. They don't need to be going all the way to OVO because OVO is just for Raptors. And that is a place where they have retinal scans for you to get into the door. And so, and also we've seen Jimmy, Jimmy doesn't necessarily need to use the Raptors for a workout here in Toronto. He can go to universities and different places. He could go to the Pan Am Center if he wanted to. He could, we've seen him on the University of Toronto track, running around on the track a couple summers ago. So, yeah, let's see what else you guys are saying here. Fiercely saying, I got confused and thought Oladipo trained with the Raptors. Well, I can see why you would think that because he's in our gym. And he may have. Our reps might have been there watching him too, just to kind of keep tabs on him. And he probably worked out for us also. So I'm not saying, I'm just trying to tell Raptors fans, don't overreact to Victor Oladipo being in our practice gym. Just understand that this is a facility that other people are using during Vegas. We're not the only ones going in there using it. But although our stuff is all over the walls when they're in there, that's why they can't take pictures of it while they're in there. It'll look funny. The Kings are in the Raptors practice facility, and the Raptors stuff all over the walls. What's going on? It's that kind of thing. Kaloy's here. What if we give a training camp invite to Oladipo? What's the point, man? He won't make the team. And in some ways, it's like, let the man go and try and find a better team. We are filled at that position, man. I'm telling you, there's no place on this team for Victor, for us. And he's too much of a risk with his injuries. We'd waste our time with him. I'm serious. We already have a player that's ambiguous about whether he's going to be healthy, and that's Brandon Ingram. We do not need a second player like this named Victor Oladipo also. The resources and the roster spot, honestly, is too valuable right now. Some people say, you're crazy, Lex. We get Victor. No, Victor's washed, guys. He hasn't played in 2 seasons, Seriously, he has not played NBA in 2 seasons. That's a long time away. And it's so freaking hard to come back from that much time back off and stuff like that. Maybe he's the special one that can. But I don't want to risk it with our franchise putting the chances on that. Seriously, we can't do this at this point in time right now. If we were in a little bit less of a weird not a weird spot, but if we were in a little bit less of what we're trying to do with the momentum going in the season, with Brandon being healthy, the rookies and the from last year looking so good at Summer League, I would say, okay, but no, we need to win this year. We need to jump on a weekend Eastern Conference, and we can't be wasting time screwing around with whether Victor Oladipo is healthy or not and tinkering with that. Other teams can get away with it. They have room on the roster. They may even need that position. Like the Milwaukee Bucks. We do not need that position. We do not need the distraction. We do not need the extra stuff. As much as he seems like a shiny new toy that would come in and kick some ass for us, that is not true. We do not know what he would do. That's right. Ninja saying the YouTube emotes. Yeah, I can do that for you. Just let me know when. Awesome. Cool, man. Yeah, I'll try and figure that out. No offense, Fiercey, because I know you're a busy lady. You've got Fiercey Jr., you got your work. You've got all kinds of different stuff going on. I'm going to see if Nins can do this for me because he's very tech savvy. He's been helping me with the Discord. And if he can just do this and I don't have to worry about trying to learn it myself, that'd be awesome. So I'm going to talk to him about it. And Fiercey, you've got so many important roles on this channel already. You are you are training a future WNBA player. And this is important. This is very, very important. We need a Raptor freak prodigy, and that is Fiercey Jr. That's right. Trevor's saying he worked out for the Milwaukee and Miami on the Raptors court. Yeah. Milwaukee's the front runner. Of course, Miami wants dibs because of, the last couple times he's been around Miami. He does have a good, strong connection to the Miami franchise. And there is a chance he could be on the Heat, too, because they do have the room on their team, and they kind of have a big gaping hole on their team in certain ways, too, in some ways. Yeah, Ninja is saying, I used to stream myself, so I'm familiar. Awesome. This is good news. This is good news. All right, we'll talk about it on Discord later on this afternoon. Let's see. Paul's saying, thanks for the detailed answer, Lex. I see good things happening this season, and soon I should be rejoining these streams on a more regular schedule. Go Raptors. I'm going to say that I'm really happy to hear this, Paul, but also at the same time, if it's any changes in your life that are not the best, I hate that. But I love you, Paul, and I appreciate you, man. But we will be so happy to have you in the chat on a regular basis more going forward. We will be so, so happy. And I only wish blessings on you and your family, man. Only wish blessing. Paul really, really helped me complete a huge project, which is the Kensington Variety VIP Club. I hope you guys will watch the rest of it unfold up until October the 1st of this year. The series will be complete. All 300 episodes will be posted by then. They're coming out on their 5-year anniversary currently. So check the content on the channel from the 5-year drops of the Kensington Variety VIP Club shows, and you'll see what I was doing 5 years ago on that day. You know, it's very, very interesting stuff. In fact, we're going to be getting into the 5-year anniversary of the bubble playoffs, where we played the Brooklyn Nets and the Boston Celtics in the playoffs, a very epic 7-game series and a sweep, the first ever sweep in the history of the Raptors in playoff history over the Brooklyn Nets in the first round. Yeah, you can see my live reacts to those games from 5 years ago on that channel coming up very, very soon on the anniversaries of the playoffs then. Yeah, that's in August, of course, when we had that. That's right. Trevor's saying he signed executive order yesterday so that teachers can discipline the kids. We will see how they treat the black kids. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy shit going on down there right now. A lot of crazy shit. They want to get rid of the education department in some ways, but they want to do this and that. They want to train people to be obedient bootlickers to them. And we can't do this. We got to resist. This guy's a joke. And, the Epstein thing is really coming after him right now. So, yeah, that's troubling. That's messed up. And, well, ACLU is in full effect right now. They have a lot of cases going on. It's being spawned by the U.S. government right now against the U.S. government. It's insane how the ACLU is going right now. Yeah. And Stargate said, hard no on Victor O. No disrespect to him. Yeah. It's not that I don't want him to come back and be successful. It's just that the Raptors are in a position in some ways that we don't need to take him on with the risk of whether he's going to be actually good. It's kind of a flyer. We don't really need him, is what I'm saying. And he may be more of a distraction and more of it's just not working out anyway, Victor. So in some ways, let's not get our hopes up on this, Raptors Nation. And, just because his name is Oladipo doesn't mean he's Oladipo from 5 years ago, guys. Let's just say that. He's not Oladipo from 7 years ago. And that is an Oladipo that's like, wow. No, this is different. This guy's hurt. And he may not be exactly the percentage that he's been in the past. That's right. Fiercey saying, I'm all in for Nins doing the emotes. Okay. I didn't want to upset you, Fiercey. You're amazing, huge, vital Raptor freak on this channel. And there's so much that you do in spirit and just in fun. And I love you, Fiercey. I'm just going to say that. I love you. And I enjoy hanging out on the Discord nowadays and hearing your voice and being able to talk to you. You're so astute. And there's a lot of stuff you're saying during the games that I'm just like, yeah, she's nailing it. She sees exactly what I'm seeing. And she's got it. She's figuring, she knows this game. And that's why, I'm so excited for Fiercey Jr. I really, really am. Fiercely saying, Nids, please put Jakob first. So she's requesting a Jakob Pertl emoticon for our channel. Yeah, I guess we haven't had a Yak one this year, and we definitely do need to get one. We definitely do need to get one for sure. All right, let me check on my tabs here, since that's what we do on this channel also. Let me see. First of all, I want to do on the straight goods of Canadian goods. We've done gas stations yesterday. Today, I want to do convenience stores. Like, the convenience stores are different. And I had this discussion with Pizza Chris recently, because he was telling me that the On the Runs are Petro-Canada, and they are. On the Run is affiliated with Petro-Canada. And as I said yesterday, Petro-Canada is fine. It's actually a really, really good place for you guys to buy your gas to support Canada. And well, On the Run gas station convenience stores are very good for Canada also. They're a Canadian brand affiliated with Petro-Can. And most of the stuff, like the thing is, you want to go to a place that's not only Canadian owned, but maybe they buy a lot of their products in the store from Canada vendors. And these are the convenience stores that get the best ranking in Canada for being Canadian are On the Run. So if you see an On the Run convenience store at your gas station, know that you're supporting Canada the best in convenience store related things. Quickie convenience stores are also a 9 out of 10 on the Canada list. So they're pretty good. Now, getting to the next level down, 8 out of 10 on the Canada score. Circle K is actually not bad, guys. Circle K is actually Canadian owned, and but they don't really try and stock Canadian products in their stores. So even though you're buying from Circle K, make sure you're looking at the labels of what you're buying in the store and try to buy the Canadian products in the store, is what I'm saying. So it's like, don't go in there and buy Coca-Cola. Go in there and try and find the Canadian stuff in the convenience store. Max Milk, Max Convenience Store, similar to Circle K, previously a iconic Canadian brand, and they don't really kind of stock anything in there. So yeah, they're okay. And then Hasty Mart is also on here. It's Canadian owned and often independently franchised. Becker's is okay also. Legacy brand of convenience stores. Becker's is not bad. Let's see if there's any else. That's about it. Do not go to 7-Eleven. They're probably the worst convenience store that you can go to in Canada. Now, the thing about 7-Eleven, though, is they're not owned by America. They're owned by a Japanese company. So 7-Eleven, even though they're owned by Japanese, I mean, that's okay. I guess you could, but a lot of the products in the 7-Eleven sold are American. That's the thing. So you want to check the labels. You want to check the labels. That's right. That's right. Nids is saying he'll put in the yak. Yeah, the yak attack. Cool Cat saying, good morning, Raptor Freak crew. Good morning to you, Cool Cat. Coach Cool Cat is awesome. Nids is saying, when watching the game on Discord, is one person screen sharing or does everyone watch separately? We're all watching separately. I mean, we could do that. You know, maybe we should do that. Like start doing a screen share and screen watch party, because what's happening is we're on different times and it's not matching up and people are spoiling the game for each other because they're reacting to great plays or whatever's happening. And then the person hears the reaction and then like a couple seconds later, they see it. So maybe we should try this tonight. Maybe we'll get one person to share the screen tonight and we'll all go in and try and watch it on the same screen so that it is better like that. So yeah, maybe we can organize this for tonight. And I seems like a good fix for syncing us all up on the same time. So we'll have to get one of us that's got a good connection or, this broadcast and get them to post it. Yeah, get them to post it. Shaq Lindsay's here. Good morning to Shaq Lindsay. Thank you for being a supporter of this channel. Raptor Freak Shaq Lindsay has been with us for a few years now. It's really good to see him. I'm tired of people talking about RJ being traded just because Jacoby had a great summer league game. Let's not forget RJ's only 25 and he hasn't even reached his potential. Plus Jacoby is good, but RJ's great too. I know that's what he's going to say next. Yeah, I think that I think you're exactly right. This is another way. All right. This is once again, I don't really blame Raptors Nation. I blame people that don't like us because they're coming in with and they can figure out narratives to throw into Raptors social media spaces. And this is what they're doing. They're saying, oh, Jacoby's so good. You don't need RJ anymore. We have to understand there's a huge push by our haters, by Knicks fans, to try and dislodge RJ from the Raptors. I keep saying this, and Raptors fans, you need to listen to me. There's people that hate that our hometown hero is on his hometown team, and they are trying so hard from other places with subterfuge to put noise out there to get him off our team. So the latest flavor is Jacoby's so good, we don't need RJ, and they're trying to tell people around our team that, yeah, these jabronis need to shut up. And I would say maybe some of them are Canadians. They're saying RJ should be off the Raptors, but they don't live in Toronto. What if they're Canadian fans that live out on the West Coast and they just don't understand the specialness of RJ? Or maybe they're people that actually kind of hate the city of Toronto, but they love the Raptors. There's a lot of people in Canada that don't really like Toronto. Let's just put it that way. So I don't know. Whoever the hell keeps pushing get rid of RJ stuff, just shut the fuck up. It's just like stop. Stop what you're doing with your life and get a life. Go do better things with your life. Because once again, everybody's proven this, and we talked about this. RJ's money fits. RJ money is fine. RJ can even be extended and can continue to be a Raptor past his current contract. So everything that people says otherwise is a lie. And it's just people that are haters that hate seeing a hometown Toronto guy playing for the Toronto Raptors and living his best life. So yeah, what? Yeah, Jacoby's gonna be good. Jacoby can play with RJ. And you know what? Why can't the Raptors have a stacked team? Seriously, what's wrong, Raptors fans? We weren't allowed to have Tracy McGrady and Vince Carter, so now we're not allowed still in the superstar era past to not stack talent on our team and have as much talent as possible on our team. Why can't we have Jacoby and RJ? Jacoby's on a rookie contract. He doesn't cost hardly anything. That's right. So I don't get it. I don't get it. Shaq Lindsay, thank you. Thank you. And he's saying RJ's on another level. Those people who want RJ to be traded, do you really want him to shine somewhere else? That's right. And RJ's happy here. RJ's fine. RJ's not trying to go somewhere else. The Raptors, in some ways, are not trying to get rid of him either. And the signs are there at Summer League. There's nice glowing pictures of him posted recently with him and Darko, him and Bobby Webster. We've got to understand that, once again, that there's a very strong bond RJ Barrett and his family have with the Raptors organization because he's been coming to Raptors games since he was a kid. And Rowan Barrett Sr. used to introduce Rowan Barrett Jr. to Masai Ujiri and said, "This is Mr. Ujiri, RJ. Could you say hi?" Hi, Mr. Ujiri. Hi, young RJ. You will come and play for me someday, okay? I will. I promise. Yeah, there you go. Little pimple face RJ Barrett coming to see Masai Ujiri around 2013 when he first took the job. And that's what I'm saying. Why can't people allow this dream to be true and just allow it to flourish and stop trying to kill the dream by saying RJ needs to leave. RJ needs to leave. Fuck all that. Fuck all that. I am the first front for this. I was a front for Jakob Poeltl and the disrespect for Jakob Poeltl in the last couple of years. And look, the respect level Jakob Poeltl has in Raptors Nation at this point. Well, we're going to do this again. And we're going to do it for our guy, Star J. Barrett, because he deserves it, because he's doing it for us. And he's doing it for his city, and he's doing it for himself. That's what it is right there. They don't like that man's doing it for himself and for Canada over as a whole. That's right. They don't like that. They don't like that. Shaq Lindsay, thank you for bringing up such a very important subject in Raptors Nation, one that I will talk about every single time and stand with RJ every single time. Shaq Lindsay's getting a dunk right here. So Shaq, you're on 31 dunks now. Actually, I want to round you up to a third, so you're 32. You got the Magic Johnson. That's right. You got the Magic Johnson, man. Whoa, phrasing, Lex. All right, here we go. Let's see. Fiercely saying we have different times and some react before. It's funny. Yeah, we have different times. And some are okay. Calm Crazy is telling me no swearing summer. Let it be. Let it be. Yeah, I mean, I've been trying, Calm Crazy. I get really passionate about a few things. That's for sure. I really do. Shaq saying, I read that part. That was the finish from his other comment. Fiercely saying, thank you for the Jakob emote, Nins. Yeah, we'll get it coming. I think it's going to be awesome. And I appreciate you wanting to do this, Nins. Shaq Lindsay saying, I've heard it on Raptors podcast. That's just messed up. This is what I'm going to say right now. I want y'all to know, where my heart is for this team. Seriously, I want the best for this team. And I know RJ's the best for our team, and we need him. These knuckleheads that are saying, oh, RJ's he's disposable. He's this, he's that. He's not. He's not. There's vibes. There's feels to him. And in some ways, he makes our team more bona fide and prideful of playing for the Toronto Raptors. Seriously. Because in some ways, when you have guys like AJ Lawson and RJ Barrett on your team that come from here, they can talk to these guys. Scotty can sit there and say, RJ, growing up here in Toronto, does it feel real special to play for the Raptors? Scotty, you don't even understand, man. My friends and I, when we were growing up, we wore Raptors gear. We went to games. We talked about Vince Carter, Chris Bosh, DeMar DeRozan. It's just amazing. I have to pinch myself, Scott, because this is just a dream. But, man, I love that for you, RJ. You know what? Your dream and the way you're playing for your city, I want to play for your city like you too. And you know what? It's my city too now. That's right, Scotty. And boom, it's like catches like wildfire. All of a sudden, all the guys are kind of like, let's do it for RJ. Let's do it for Toronto. Let's do it for the fans. I mean, how can that be a bad effect to have not only do you have quality control on your team or professional leadership control in Garrett Temple, but you got hometown feel and vibes and respect for the community and the city built into native sons on the team and Lawson and Barrett. I mean, how can that be a bad thing, Raptors fans? What's wrong with y'all? Seriously, what is wrong with y'all? It's crazy, man. Why would you trade him? Why would you trade him? There ain't no good reason to trade him. Shaq Lindsay said, we celebrate when Jakob signed his extension. Let's celebrate when RJ does too. Yeah, yeah. And all these haters that talk all this shit, Shaq Lindsay, yeah, that's the thing. Yak got his extension recently, and all the Yak haters, all the people putting down Yak, saying this and that, can't shoot threes, can't do this. We don't need him on our team. He needs to go. Well, motherfuckers, you were wrong because he signed an extension. He's very happy here, and we're very happy to have him here too. That's right. And Bleacher Report can put a little bullshit, gaslighting little article about, oh, look, get somebody who loves somebody as much as the Raptors love Jakob Poeltl. Well, we have a good reason to like him. And y'all saying that he's the 15th best center in this league, you need to reassess your rankings, especially this year when you see him come back this year. That's right. That's right. So, yeah, I'm with you, Shaq. And when RJ signs the extension after this contract with the Raptors, yeah, we're going to have that kind of feeling about this. That's right. That's right. Stargate saying the modern day fans' over obsession with contracts and salary is to blame for a lot of this unnecessary trade talk. These days, back in the day, we never called for players to be traded like this. Yeah. Yeah, it's very toxic. It's very, very, very toxic. I think it, once again, is the blame is the anonymousness of social media, because there's so many people out there that are not representing themselves as who they truly are. And they're just putting things out there that are disruptive and disinformation and misinformation and just trying to stir the pot. That's why at some point it's going to be so useless, social media and comment sections, that nobody's going to take any weight in anything anybody says anywhere, because there's nothing substantially useful and anywhere on Facebook, X, wherever, Instagram, it doesn't matter, Reddit, doesn't matter. It's just a bunch of people saying stupid shit and none of it matters. And in some ways, the game matters, the interviews matter with the players, and that's it. That's it. The games and what we see out there, and y'all can be obsessed with the money and all that kind of stuff. You know what? When I was a kid, we never even knew how much players were making, and we just watched basketball and we enjoyed it. And man, I'm totally with Stargate on this. Trevor's saying all the noise right now in Vegas is about the Raptors defense. Everywhere you go, so you are hearing that team is so good. I love that. Trevor's the man on the scene. He's the street beat for what's going on in Vegas Summer League. He's at the Cox Pavilion. He's at the Thomas and Mack Center, and he's hearing it. He's hearing it. The murmurs. He's hearing the gasps. The Raptors defense is crazy. Look at those guys falling all over themselves in the middle of Summer League. It's not the playoffs. Didn't they get the memo? What are they doing? What are they doing going after it like that? They're going all out, and people are talking about it. It's the buzz. It's the buzz on the street. The Raptors defense. Yeah, look out. In some ways, they're scared. Maybe Trevor needs to sideline up to a little conversation on the side and say, Chucky's coming, and say something like that to some stranger. And maybe they'll freak out. They'll be like, Chucky's coming. Chucky's coming. Chucky's coming. He hears people talking about the Raptors defense and people being scared of it. He starts saying, Chucky, 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 Chucky. He does like the Jason sound. Chucky, 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 Chucky. Trevor Jay's like terrorizing people outside the Raptors practice ballroom. Chucky, 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 Chucky. It sounds just like Friday the 13th noise, right? With Jason in the woods. Chucky, Chucky, Chucky. Trevor, you got to get at least a dozen Chuckies in today. Seriously, you got to sneak up the random people in Vegas and just go, Chucky, Chucky, Chucky. Oh, it's so good. It's making me think about Scott when he was on Friday the 13th video game on Twitch and they left him on the dock. Poor Scott. Scott's like, y'all don't leave me on the, he's like, they took off on the boat and left the island and left poor Scott on the boat, on the dock, man. Oh, man, that's a classic Scotty Twitch moment right there. Friday the 13th abandonment. All right, let's keep going. Stargate saying, all right, yeah, no, it's Shaq Lindsay first. Sorry. The man loves the city, the country, plays for the national team, and says it's his dream for him. Raptors fans need to embrace this. I know. I don't know why Raptors fans can't do this. This is why it's a big telltale sign. You know, you can represent yourself all kinds of ways online, and in some ways, I'm just going to go by what you're saying. You can tell me, oh, no, I'm a liberal. But if you're putting MAGA speak out there, I'm not going to think you're a liberal. because you're promoting MAGA talking points. It's the same thing. You could tell me I'm a Raptors fan, but I want you to trade RJ Barrett. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's not a Raptor kind of thing to think. No, it's not. So I'm going to judge you. It's just like how I judge people on how they felt about Jakob Poeltl. If you didn't like Jakob and you thought he was a bad player, well, I judge you on your IQ about basketball. That you just don't know basketball. Obviously, if you think Jakob Poeltl is a bad basketball player, you're crazy. Well, you start talking about trading RJ Barrett, I'm judging you, and you're not a Raptors fan. I'm sorry. That's just the damn truth. You could be in Raptors fan nation and consider yourself a Raptors person, but you're not a real fan if you actually think that RJ Barrett needs to part from the Raptors right now. I'm sorry. There's a line right there, and it's your actions. It's what you're saying that makes you the other side of the line. If you're doing that, that's right. Stargate saying, when I was a Bad Boys Pistons fan, me too, man. That was a fun time. And Tim Duncan Spurs fan, yeah, I'm a fan of that too. Wow, we do have a lot of crossover. I don't remember other fans calling for trades like these fans nowadays. Even in the early Raptors days, they did. No, this is very much generated by the ABC, Bleacher Report, NBC, ESPN culture, the talking head culture, the toxic bullshit, extra talking, non-basketball reporting, fluff culture is really this. And it's been introduced by ESPN and kind of gaslighting. It was like talking about big salaries for different players in different sports. And it's just an action that's grown, and people see it now. And yeah, criticizing salaries and overlooking at salaries and speculating about GM's work and saying, oh, they're not making this fit. Well, we don't know exactly what Bobby Webster does or other GMs and different teams in sports. So it's like, it's so insidious and it's unnecessary. And in some ways, I wish more people would train themselves to block out all this extra noise that's absolutely useless. Really, absolutely useless. Let's see. Randolph saying, blessings, beloved Raptor Freak family. Your fate must never be denied by others, but by your gifts, purpose, calling, and God's will for your life. You matter. Just prove it by living it. I love it, man. Randolph, thank you. Yeah, everybody's purpose in life is not always totally clear right away. And as you go through the path of life, you'll find maybe your purpose comes to you. And well, when it comes to you, you'll feel it and it'll feel real and genuine. And you need to go towards it. Seriously, do not waste it. Go and take hold of it and do your best with it to help in a positive way for the rest of the world. Blessings to the Phillips family, all of the Raptor Freak families. That's right. Shaq Lindsay saying, unlike some players, Andrew Wiggins. Yeah, Andrew Wiggins. What pop, fam? From the Mountain Central Time, it is our sheriff, Seymour Pape, the city slicker, coming in number one in the bullet. Yeah, that's right. No, number one in the bullet is Trevor J, number one top fan. I'm here for 2 weeks in Vegas right after I have the trade show here. So he's here anyway. So he's not leaving Vegas right away. So he'll be there anyway because he's got work afterwards. That's part of the convenience of it. Trevor had work to do in Vegas already. He just came early. That makes so much sense now. What a smart commissioner of fun we have, guys. What a smart commissioner of fun. Seymour saying Precious, Ben Simmons, notable names still unsigned. Boucher, Chris Paul. Yeah, Morris twins. The Morris twins, I don't know. I think they're going to broadcasting or something like that. I don't know. That's what I heard. They got microphones now, Morris twins. Randolph saying, Lex, it's been reported that Masai was heavily opposed in the organization over the Ingram trade. His injury played a major role, but time will tell. Yeah, there's an interesting story out in the last day that Masai was the mastermind in orchestrating Brandon Ingram's acquisition, that he was the one who knew that he was going to be healthy and that he is going to be a really, really good fit for our team, and that other people in the organization didn't like it. I could even wonder this, that Masai still had very much control around the trade deadline this year, and that he wanted to have one last big move. Like if he can't do his Kawhi move, let's think about this. His Kawhi move was his signature move to help us get our first championship. And this is kind of a Kawhi move, getting Brandon Ingram at the trade deadline. Honestly, if people really understand the gravity of how good Brandon Ingram can be, this is kind of a Kawhi move, getting Brandon Ingram. And Masai knew the clock was ticking and that the ownership change was going to happen in the middle of summer, that he couldn't wait till free agency this year. So I think that Masai rushed our summer of offseason to the trade deadline because he knew he was done. He's going to be gone, and that Ed Rodgers is going to force him out. So he did the Brandon Ingram move early. the trade deadline to make his last mark on our team with that big acquisition. I'm going to say this right now. Brandon Ingram's going to be a huge success, and we need to give a lot of credit to Masai. Now, if he's hurt and things don't work out, well, in some ways they're throwing a ring around Brandon as one of the things to tie to Ujiri's legacy. And we'll just have to see how this all goes down. I totally believe Brandon's going to be healthy. He wants to come back. It's not like he's one of these lazy guys like Ben Simmons. He wants to play. He wants to come back and play. He wants to be as good as he can be. He's not a loafer. He's going to come back, and Masai will look very good for this. Watch. It's very interesting. James is here. Good to see Raptor Freak. James, always good to talk to James. James is a fun guy. Ingram is going to be good for us. Scotty leads the defense. Brandon the offense. Yeah. That's pretty much right there. I mean, in some ways, Scotty is a vocal leader on the team defense. He's calling out the assignments. He's seeing the switches. He's letting everybody know he's vocal. He's vocal. He's not even just vocal on the court. He's vocal off the court. And then Brandon, in some ways, his leadership may be a little more silent on offense, but his leadership will be the kind of leadership is like, hey, we need a steady bucket. We need a bucket like Kobe Bean would give us. Yeah, I'm going to get that bucket for us because I'm not the Slim Reaper, but I'm a slim killer, and I'm a slim kill them. And like I said already, I'm going to make a prediction that this year, Brandon Ingram's going to look more like Kevin Durant than Kevin Durant looks like Kevin Durant. Now, I'm going to say that right now, that Brandon Ingram is at the right age in his prime. If he's healthy with his knowledge and his time sitting out watching the Raptors on a team that's a good, healthy ecosystem, not the Pelicans, Brandon Ingram could look more like Kevin Durant this year than Kevin Durant playing for the Houston Rockets this year. Seriously, because Kevin in some ways is washed. He's older, and in some ways he's jaded from all these weird years in Brooklyn and Phoenix. And Brandon Ingram has a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of good momentum going from his injury, coming back with the Raptors in a good situation that we may actually see Ingram looking more Durant than Durant himself. I'm just saying, we're going to put a pin in what I just said, and we'll see this season if what I just said is true, that Brandon Ingram looks more like Kevin Durant than Kevin Durant does at this point. That's what I'm saying, man. And that'll be awesome if that's true. Seymour saying PG-13 out for the Sixers, Tatum, Nets. Tatum and Celtics, Nets whole team is trash, and the Knicks and fuck the Knicks. We win in the Atlantic this year. I want this again. You know, in some ways, I love winning the NBA championship. I love getting far in the playoffs. But one of the things I always used to love in the 2010s was the Raptors being the Atlantic Division champions. Yeah, there was an era where those teams you just named, Seymour, were shit for a long time. The Knicks, the Celtics, the Nets. Really, really poorly managed teams, and even the Sixers too. And the Raptors were reign the Atlantic Division throughout the 2010s. Well, I want to get back to that. I really do. And I think what you just said, I love it. I love it so much. I'm giving you a dunk. And yeah, I want to be Atlantic Division champs once again this year because I have a cool Raptors Atlantic Division champs t-shirt that I want to dust off and start putting it on again on my show. And I don't feel comfortable doing it until we actually are again. So I want to get that shirt back out, Atlantic Division champs. And when hopefully at the end of the year, I'll be able to put that shirt on and say, yeah, we were in the middle of the pack last year. Some said we should have been at the bottom, but maybe we'll be at the top of the pack this year coming up. That'd be awesome, man. That would be awesome. Yeah, it'd be so good. Let's see what else you guys are saying here. Stargate saying, do the Pelicans have anything left from the trade with us? They're a weird team, man. They have Zion still. He's still there. Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, those guys are still there. Alvarado. But, you know, they've shuffled up a bit. They really have. They got CJ McCollum left and Kelly Olynyk, and they're gone. And Bruce Brown's gone. And, you know, there's a bit of a different team there. Derek Queen, new draft pick, is there along with Zion. All right, let's keep going. Shaq Lindsay saying, I think this version of the bench mob has the potential to be better than the Fred one. Think about it. Fred, Norman, and Pascal versus Shed, Jacoby, Dick, Colin, Mobo, and Ulrich. It may be that the pure numbers of the bench mob is bigger. Like there's just more individuals in this bench mob. Like the original bench mob was kind of 6 guys, really. It's kind of just 6 guys. It was DeLon, CJ Miles, Pascal, Fred, Jakob, and Norman. And those were the 6 bench mob. Now, in this bench mob, I could argue that we have 8 guys at least in this, maybe even 9, if you want to start talking about Jamison Battle and AJ Lawson and stuff like that. So, yeah, we'll have to see. The bench mob may be expanded. I think that's the big difference. And that may make them a little bit more powerful and useful because there's more options. There's more energy to expend in the crazy ass spam steal defense that we're doing right now. So, yeah, I think it's because there's going to be more seats in the bench mob this time than the one before. It really was a 6-man operation before. I mean, you could kind of say Bebe Nogueira was in the bench mob, the original one for 7th person, but not really. Come on. Was Lucas Nogueira really bench mob, guys? Not really. No. So we'll have to see. I think this is a good point. They could be better. They could be better, but it partly could be because there's more of them. Kaloy saying, I call cap on the Lewinberg article. We got Ingram for peanuts. Bobby and company is not that stupid. Yeah, honestly, once again, a really good way of telling people that have an issue with the Ingram trade and think it's not that good. Well, just tell them straight up this. This is a branch off of the Siakam trade, getting the Ingram trade. And Brandon Ingram was drafted in like the 2nd pick of the same draft as Pascal Siakam. So let's think about this as their cars or something like that, or houses. You buy a house at a certain level, at a certain value, Siakam in the 20th something pick, and Brandon Ingram's the 2nd pick. And well, at some point you flipped Siakam for Brandon Ingram plus more. So you basically took the 20 something pick in the same draft and got the 2nd pick from that draft. I don't know. The math is not mathing right, Lewinberg, if you're criticizing the Raptors for the Ingram trade, because somehow, some way, Masai and Bobby made Pascal a 20-something pick into acquiring so much that they can involve the 2nd pick of that same year. They're getting him back in value with way more around him too. So I don't get it. I don't get the logic here. That one right there just kills it. When did Siakam get picked? Siakam in some ways got flipped for Ingram. Ingram's the 2nd pick in that draft. Don't tell me we didn't get value for the Brandon Ingram draft. Seriously, that's it right there. James is saying, Lex, what's your prediction on Ingram's stat line this season? Well, I want to temper people's expectations on all the Raptors offensively. I think that because fans are so offensive minded, they just expect people to average 30. I want y'all to know there's balance on this team. There's a lot of balance on our team. And the balance in the starting lineup is going to be there. So, the Raptors have had teams in the recent years where we've had a bunch of guys averaging around 19 points. We had one year where we had like 6 Raptors average over 15 points for the year. And that's amazing. That kind of balance is really good. That was a Nick Nurse team with Gary Trent and other people before. But, having a team with a bunch of guys that are average around 20 points is actually better than having a team with one guy who's averaging 30 points. And, Emmanuel, Scotty, RJ, Brandon should all be right around 20 points. So we'll see where they are in the range of that. But in some ways, because of the equality, don't expect Ingram to get close to 30. He's going to get closer to 20. He may even get just slightly less than 20. And that may be the case for Scotty, RJ, and Emmanuel. Now, the stat heads that are only caring about the highest of numbers for scoring, you may be disappointed in what our Raptors score. But you know what? The stat that only matters is this one, you jackasses. And they can be all for one and one for all, equitable with each other, and all average just around 20 points, and we'll win. So I'll say Brandon Ingram's going to average about 21 points a game, and he'll get about, I'd say about 7 rebounds, and he'll probably get almost 5 assists. And he'll get like almost a block, and he'll get almost a steal also. So I don't know if actually he may not get the steal, but he'll get almost the block. Yeah. So I think that's what his stats will look like. It'll be about 21 points. He may be the leading scorer. I mean, it could either be him or Barrett. Honestly, I think it'll be one of those two. And he'll get about 7 rebounds, and he'll get just under 5 assists. But the thing is, he's going to do his scoring in the very high pressure situations that are so hard for the Raptors to score. Those moments where we floundered when the intensity is high and we couldn't find somebody to be clutch and make shots when it's really, really tough to score, Brandon's going to do it then. He's going to do it then. And that's going to be the huge value of him. Think Kawhi in the championship year, how Kawhi in the highest pressure situations was just money. And that's what we want Brandon to do on his role this year. And he knows that. And he also knows that the prerequisite to play for Darko is to play all-out defense like his teammates are, and he is not going to slack on that. He understands that he needs to do that. So that's why I don't think his stats are going to look that great in certain ways compared to his career stats, because he's going to be putting a lot more effort on defense than ever in his career. And he's also going to be more balanced with passing and doing other skills also on the court. But the scoring will still be there, and he will still be one of the number one options to make sure he has the ball. So I want to temper people's expectations before the season starts, because they have crazy, wild ideas. He should average 35 points like Jordan used to. Yeah, that's just not realistic. We have an egalitarian starting five, and all five of those guys could be scoring 20 points on any given night and having huge games. We'll just see how it all pans out. Yeah. Kaloy saying, look at okay, hang on. I jumped ahead. Let me make sure. Where is Kaloy? Look at the Bane and Ingram trade. Sheesh. I think the Masai slander is going to begin now from these clowns. Listen, once again, people can have their perspective and put out their own bullshit over and over again. It's up to you whether you want to listen to them. There's critical thinking needed in this world now more than ever. And because there's so many, everybody has an opinion, everyone wants to put stuff out there, just stop paying attention to people that obviously are showing you they're jackasses, is what I would say. That's what I would say. Yeah, that Bane trade is the price for Desmond Bane was insane. That alone right there is another, like Kaloy's saying, that's another really good bullet in the gun to show these people that you're wrong. Because look at what Orlando had to do to get Desmond Bane, what they had to send Memphis. Then look at what the Raptors sent to the Pelicans to get Ingram. Yeah, that's crazy. Ingram's way better than Desmond Bane. So, I mean, that is a proof right there. You could start throwing in other people's faces if they're starting to talk like this, Kaloy. Seriously. Shaq Lindsay saying, plus our starters have more firepower than Kyle DeMar and Kawhi Leonard. You know, I would say they're way more talented. Yeah. Overall as a group. If you want to take the starting five that was above the bench mob, which was Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan, Terrence Ross, Amir Johnson, and Jonas Valanciunas. Yeah. Our starting five now is way more talented. I would say Jakob is more talented than Jonas. I would say that Scotty, RJ, and Emmanuel. I mean, it's tough. RJ to DeMar. I think RJ has more skills than DeMar at this point than DeMar did at that point back then in some ways. You know, Emmanuel versus Kyle. I mean, that's tough. You can't really gauge that too well. Scotty versus Terrence Ross, or no, Scotty versus Amir Johnson. All right, there you go. You can see that our Scotty in the five right now is way more talented than the one before. Brandon Ingram versus Terrence Ross. Yeah, we've got a way more talented starting five right now than the one that was above the bench mob. That's exactly right by Shaq Lindsay. Trevor saying that's why I couldn't get into the Raptors ballroom, because of different players and GMs from different organizations. It was like Alcatraz, lots of security. Yeah, they got a lot of big name, multi-million-dollar NBA players walking around. They don't want anybody just walking around in there. No, they don't. There's extra security, and they learned how to do that extra security during the bubble. Smooth saying Celtics are actively shopping Anthony Simons. So I guess maybe they had the initial interview after trading to get him there, and they're like, yeah, this guy's not a Celtic material. We got to move him again. That's interesting. That's really interesting. I would have thought they were going to give that young man a chance in the Celtics green, but they're not. That's a red flag to me about Simons. Although I've always thought Simons was a good player. I've had him on my fantasy team, and I've watched him, and he seems like a cool dude. He seems like a quality player, but the Celtics don't want him? That's weird, man. There's something weird about that. Seymour saying from the Bruce Brown trade. That's right. Kaloy saying BI is going to unlock our starting five. I hate to say it, but BI is better and cheaper than Pascal. And Pascal is my favorite player. I mean, they're tough to compare. I won't compare BI to Pascal until he successfully comes back from injury. And in some ways, Siakam is on top of the world with what he's doing. He's at the best he's ever been in his entire life right now. And I don't want to sully him like that. In some ways, without the evidence of seeing Brandon healthy, I cannot for sure make this determination. But I may say it, this season. When we see what he does and how he's playing, I may come around with you on this. But I'm going to say it now. I think Siakam is really on his own level in certain ways with what he does at that position in some ways. I would argue him against most of the other people at his position in the league right now. But I don't know about Brandon. This could very well be true. This could very well be true. Randolph saying, Lex, what's up with Joel saying that Harden has not spoken with him since he left the Sixers and that it hurts him still? Thoughts? Well, I mean, Joel Embiid, in some ways, I'm going to keep saying this. There's some players that have come to this league that have arrested development. And, some people will say like certain things about Scott and this, or they'll say something about Giannis, this. Well, Joel is a big kid. Like in some ways, he didn't totally grow up. And I get it. In some ways, he has sadness. He has feelings that he doesn't know how to deal with. He doesn't totally have emotional IQ that is, adults. You saw it when he got upset after we beat him in the 2019 finals, and he was crying, running through the halls of Scotiabank. This is a big kid in a man's huge body. And, in some ways, I don't know if he's ever exactly gone through his feelings and matured in certain ways. And I could see this. I mean, James Harden, even though he's who he is, he may have lost disrespect for Joel while he was in Philadelphia. I could see why. I mean, seriously, a lot of us don't have respect for Joel. And he may have lost respect for Joel because from the inside, he saw just how lazy he was, just how much he wasn't trying hard to rehab or do this or do that. And he may have lost respect for him. And, the whole thing that happened with Nick getting the job and Harden not being able to play for Nick, that's for damn sure. I knew as soon as Nick Nurse was hired as the coach of the Sixers, James Harden was leaving because Nick Nurse had insulted James Harden in Hungary at the coaches conference just in a year before. And James Harden and Nick are not to be together for all kinds of reasons. So it could very well be Joel embracing Nick Nurse coming in, and maybe James came to Joel and said, bro, we can't like this coach. He's an asshole. I hate him. And you got to be with me. And I'm just speculating here. And, everybody's doing it. Why not? Maybe James was like, help me, Joel. And he's like, no, I like Coach Nurse. He beat me. And I want to learn from him. Oh, you're a sellout. I thought we were friends. Aren't you going to look out for me? Nah, James, you're on your own. I'm sorry. And now James Harden don't want to talk to Joel evermore. That's total speculation what I just said. But it could be plausible. I mean, I think that it's probably that James Harden just lost all respect for Joel while he played with him on the Sixers, and he doesn't have any time for losers like him, and that's what it is. I think that's what it is right there, and it still hurts Joel. Well, that's the arrested development of Joel Embiid's immaturity. That's what that is right there. This is crazy. I didn't know this. It's kind of funny. Thank you for bringing me such an interesting comment. Stargate saying, I specifically mean from the trade with us, Lex, meaning the Brandon Ingram trade specifically and not all overall. Kelly and Bruce are gone. Did we give them a draft pick as well? Yeah, I think we gave them a second round pick in that deal also. I think it was Kelly and Bruce in a second round pick, not a first round pick. It was a second round pick. Yeah, okay. So you're talking about what? Yeah, I get what you're saying. James is saying, I read this on Real GM yesterday. Our starting lineup has different things that are good at IQ. Alberta's calling. Is this you? See more seriously. All right. Is this really you? Hello. Caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, I'd like 2 extra cheese, some pineapples. Yo, what's going on, man?
It's the sheriff.
What's going down?
What's up, man? I know it is Thursday, and you have a habit of calling me on the Thursday think tank, so I'm allowing this. This is fine. I said if the call comes in and it's a number that I recognize, I'll put it on. So, Seymour, what's up today, man? I'd love to hear what you have to say today to call me. What's going on?
Yeah. Does the Bradley Beal pickup move the needle for you in the West with the Clippers?
No,
not at all.
No, because I look at the pattern of what the Clippers have done since they stole Kawhi from us, and it's just the latest kind of later career player that's overpaid, that's coming in there to waste Steve Ballmer's time and take his money, is what I kind of see. So I'm actually really shocked that Bradley waived it, but I think that's because of public disdain for him, that he's really he probably figured it out finally that he looks like a total dick for having a no trade clause. And Phoenix Suns fans hate him so much that he's like, yeah, I better just get out of here.
Yeah.
So, but no, I've never had much respect for Bradley Beal. In some ways, he's like a early level of LeBronto kind of shit from the Washington series against us with early Kyle and DeMar in the playoffs. That one in particular with Paul Pierce. And so I've always hated Bradley Beal. I think that Bradley Beal is a lot of disrespect for the Raptors organization. He just kind of looks down on us. So why would I give him any props? Is what I say. And his career is what it is.
And a lot of things, culture. Like, I think, like, when he first came to the league, he had a lot of promise.
Yeah.
He had a lot of promise, almost
sure.
like on a Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown type of level.
Sure.
But I think the culture that he went to, the team he went to, was the culture's not good.
Oh, yeah.
Washington.
Yeah. For sure.
And seeing it in John Wall's career, these guys had a lot of talent, but they never took it serious. Like, if they had fallen under Pop, like, imagine they went to San Antonio, John Wall and Bradley Beal, and Pop had them, they would have taken their career a lot more serious. You know what I mean?
So, I would think you're right. I would think you're right, but let's not get it twisted. These guys were the leaders for the Wizards, and they had an opportunity, just like DeMar and Kyle did in Toronto, and they built what they built through their character. And it's not totally the Wizards' fault. They were supposed to help the Wizards as their franchise players, and they did what they did. I mean, Colin and DeMar were our franchise players, and look what they did to build us up. But these guys, in some ways, John Wall is a flawed player in general. But Bradley Beal, in some ways, was selfish, and he only thought about himself. This is actually in the Stunted Growth on his channel for Bradley Beal. He just came out in the last month saying, why did Bradley Beal not excel and do better in his overall NBA career? And his number one stunt was himself, his ego, and making choices on contracts throughout his career that were selfish for him to make the most money and never, ever team building conducive. That's a big part of why he's been unsuccessful.
Yeah, that's very accurate. That is very accurate. But another thing, too, Washington, like, I think Gilbert Arenas, like, you know what type of guy he is, and Nick Young. They're both, like, they're more comedians. They don't take anything serious. They're always trying to run sabotage games on each other and stuff like that. Even in the grown man ages, at these ages, they're still running pranks on one another. And that sort of was that culture in Washington. Like, if you even listen to what Kwame Brown has to say, Kwame Brown's like, damn, when I was in Washington, Gilbert, you treated me like shit. You know what I'm saying? So the culture there is very bad. And even when John Wall and Beal were the men and they took over, I feel that the culture that Arenas, the stain that he left there, was picked up by Wall and Beal, and it showed. And then we're still seeing it even till now. Well, when they went to Phoenix, he didn't take that situation serious.
No, he did take it seriously. That the thing is, listen, and I don't want to go too Wizards freak this morning, but this is the thing: the Wizards were their best when they had Paul Pierce, and that was because he was a bona fide leader who had done something, and he knew how to run that team as a leader. I don't think Bradley Beal's ever been a good leader. I don't think he's ever been helpful to the youngsters on the team around him. I think he's been a very selfish NBA player in general. And the thing is, like, you're right. The Washington Wizards franchise has not been run well. They have very hard time getting good talent in any position, whether it's GM or coach or anything like that. And, they kind of spin their wheels. And in some ways, it's the reason why people say, I don't want to play for the Hornets. They don't want to play for the Wizards too. And, that's hard to get a collection and build a nucleus of winning from the starting point. Is like everybody sees that franchise as just dead in the water, just like kind of not getting anywhere ever. So, I mean, there's a lot to it. There's a lot to it. And I think that if Beal had been just a little bit more of a team-friendly kind of player, he could have been way more successful. But I think he was doomed in Washington. And you were very right. He probably would have done way better in a place like San Antonio with somebody like Popovich, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. Even the coach that left, what's the coach? Because he win a national championship at Florida with, what's the coach name? The Bulls coach.
The who's coach?
The Chicago Bulls head coach.
Oh, but Billy Donovan. Yeah, Donovan. Yeah, he's a Hall of Fame coach in college for winning NCAA championships with the Florida Gators. Yes.
Yeah. Just poor decisions by most people coming out of that school, man. Like, I think Horford is the only guy who really had success coming out of Florida there. But
it's weird.
Anyway,
it's weird because you can talk about the Florida Gators in a couple of ways. And in football, wow, a lot of problematic players coming out the football teams. Aaron Hernandez and a couple of other real bad people. Florida Gators have been a recruiting school that will recruit anybody. In some ways, they only care about talent and winning, and they don't really care about character. And in some ways, that may be true. I know it's true for football, but it may be true for basketball to an extent too. I mean, Castleton is Florida, right? And he's showing like he has not been working on his game this summer. Obviously, he's regressed. He's not better than he was during the season for us last year in the summer league right now. What the hell are you doing? And this is lesser talent, Colin Castleton. You're playing against than the regular NBA talent that you did better against in the regular season last year. What the fuck has happened to you, bro? I hope there's nothing going on in his life that's got his mental like weird or something, you know?
Yeah, it must be crazy seeing everybody has taken a jump forward. Like Shed's gotten better.
Yep.
Jacoby's gotten better.
Aldridge
gotten better. Shay's gotten better. Everyone's gotten better. Castleton seems that he's on a treadmill getting run but going nowhere.
He's going backwards, honestly, because he's missing shots right now in the summer league that he made money last year. So it's scary, man. All right, Seymour, anything else you want to add on the way out real quick, my guy? I'm so happy you called me, man.
Who is the greatest Florida State basketball player of all time?
The greatest Florida State basketball player of all time is Dave Cowens.
Really? That's your choice? Dave Cowens? Okay, I'm going to go look that up. I'm going to do some research.
It's true because Dave Cowens got them the furthest. I think one of the furthest places in the tournament. And, look at his NBA career. I know he's earlier and he's Celtics, but he won championships in the NBA with the Celtics. And he was a pretty decent coach for a little while after his career. But in Florida State history, he's the start of the Florida State basketball that was good. Was Dave Cowens. If you want another couple of names, I'll put Charlie Ward on that list second. I'll maybe even put Bob Sir was an interesting Florida State player for a little while there. But I think Scotty Barnes is going to be in the top three with Charlie Ward and Dave Cowens. Those are the three greatest Florida State basketball players that ever played in the NBA. Dave Cowens, Charlie Ward, and Scotty Barnes. And I put Charlie Ward in there partly because of the Heisman.
Yeah, he was good. All right, yo, have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, man, and thanks for calling me on the early time. And I hope you're having a great day. And just touch grass and live the best life, Seymour Pape. Always the best for you, my guy.
Always one.
All right, let's go, Raptors. Beat the Dubs. Let's go. Let's beat the Warriors tonight, Raptors Nation, and make it a 4-0 Summer League. Perfect record, baby. That's right. They buzzing about the Raptors defense in Vegas on the Strip. Yeah, well, let's buzz around them Warriors tonight and kick their ass is what I'm saying. That's right. Let's kick their ass. That's right. All right, James was saying, I read this on Real GM yesterday. Our starting lineup has different things they are good at. IQ, three-point shooting. RJ, driving. Scotty, defense and playmaking. Ingram, mid-range and scoring. Yeah, and Jakob, shot blocking and defense. It's exactly right. These guys are different pieces, and they fit together and cover different areas that we need covered. Now, in some ways, the Raptors starters may be not as good defensively as our bench. So it's kind of cool if we are getting in trouble and the other team is kicking our ass offensively. Well, we put the clamps on them. Who let the dogs out? Baja Man. When they sent in Jamal Shed, Chucky Hepburn, and Elijah Martin. Yeah, who let the dogs out? Boo, 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 boo. That's what's going to happen in games this year. We're going to let the dogs out midway through the first quarter. And, get them. Mr. Burns on the front lawn. Get them off my property, Smithers. Yeah, who let the dogs out? Boo, 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 boo. That's what's going to be happening right there. Speaking of Florida players, well, I want to think that Elijah Martin is the opposite of what Seymour Pape was intimating about Florida players from the University of Florida, that they're a little bit of a mess. I won't disagree with him. I'm all about hating on University of Florida as a Florida State Seminole. But Elijah Martin is a winner in the vein of Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry. Yeah. So I think he fits the Raptor mold very, very well. Yeah, a national champion for the University of Florida Gators. That's right. Let's go. James is saying also that's good variety right there. Yeah, it's good variety. Like a convenience store you can find on the run at Suncor convenience store. You can find good variety in that store on goods and buy the Canadian ones. That's what I say. Buy the Canadian brands. That's right. Shaq Lindsay saying the Pascal trade was brilliant. B.I., Oshai, and Jacoby. I know. It's insane. That's what I was telling people at that time. It was underwhelming when we made the deal. And everybody's like, this is what we got for Siakam. We just got fleeced. I'm like, no. It's going to hit later. It's on layaway. You're going to get the benefits and you're going to see the rewards of it. It's not totally done. Give it time. And boom, the Brandon Ingram coming a year later after the Siakam trade was the other shoe dropping. And that is exactly what Shaq Lindsay's saying here. It's like we got a haul for Siakam on the down low, and nobody wants to point that out. Shaq saying also what makes our starters so special is in that they also play with different lineups off the bench. Yeah, I'm excited, like I said, to see how they meld and blend the starters with the new bench mob. Jonathan and Scotty love playing together. We're going to see them on the court together. You will. And you're going to see AJ and RJ out there together too. If God willing, AJ Lawson makes his team for sure. So yeah, there's some interesting synergies that we can try and unlock with different lineups of mixing starters with bench mob. And the right balance of offense with defense may be some of the chemistry that Darko's doing in his mad scientist laboratory this year. It's like, add a little Elijah Martin with the Brandon Ingram and the IQ. Stuff like that is going to be coming up. And it'll be very interesting to see the different kind of synergy that we derive from the chemistry experiments of Darko. Yeah, we have to see. Blackhawk saying it's a challenge. Hang on. It's a challenge. Jumped ahead. No. Oh, wait, here we go. It's a challenge for any coach to play 10 deep in the NBA. We are more than deep 10, so we're going to need to be patient with the rotation. Yeah, I think it's a luxury to have so many good players. And Darko plays 10. We know this already. His pattern is 5 off the bench with the starting 5. And, well, there's going to be 10 guys that are going to get in, and sometimes there's going to be guys that are on the odds out. And it's just going to be that way. And it'll be changing different times. And once again, I would tell Raptors fans, you may think that certain guys should be able to play and get out there and play more this year. With so many players, there's going to be people that have to sit at times. You're going to be like, why is this person sitting? Don't do this. Because once again, part of who determines who gets to play is in practice. And we don't get privileged to see practice unless you go to the coach's open house and see a Raptors practice behind the scenes. But that's only that one. And the coaches and Darko are looking at these players in practice on their biorhythms and how they're looking on regular basis. And they may determine who gets the rotation, who's sitting on the bench and DMPing by biorhythms and practice performances. And that is information that we are not privy to. So Raptors fans, cloud GMs, people that want to be fucking telling the Raptors how to do the rotation, shit like that, y'all don't have all the answers. Y'all don't have all the information. So just stop. Is what I would say, people, right now. There's going to be people that sit like Boucher last couple of years, and you're going to be upset about it. And I'm telling you already ahead of time to be ready for this and rationalize it as this. Darko, Jama, Pat Delaney, Coco, Mike Batiste, they are watching them, and they're analyzing them on a day-to-day basis. And they may be like, well, Ulrich has a hangnail right now. Let's not play Shamshay today. That kind of shit could be happening. Y'all don't even know it. So just trust that they're doing what they're doing and they're doing it right. That's right. Kaloy saying this roster will make Darko shine. So excited for October. I hope the U.S. hold on until then. This is one of the biggest fears I have, is that the U.S. will devolve into chaos so badly. The balance is that the corporations and the capitalistic system wants to uphold itself so the profit and the money keeps going. So in some ways, itself is what is protecting us from devolving into chaos right now. Is the money's too good. It's bad for business, war and civil war and problems. Donald, you need to tone it down and get back in the middle, you crazy fuck. Shit like that is what these corporate people are saying to each other. Tone it down, Donald. You're bad for business. What the fuck, man? We don't want to lose an NBA season because MAGA America's out of control with fascism. This is a concern. We've lost time playing because of pandemic. because of other weird, unforeseen things. We don't want anything like this. Nobody wants war. Nobody wants conflict. And in some ways, it looks like we're going towards it no matter what. And so hopefully things can hold together. It's one thing to plan and get obsessed about who's going to play for the Raptors in the rotation. But if the world's going to shit, when will that matter? That won't matter because other things have become priority all of a sudden. So keep your fingers crossed just on the U.S. not devolving into a cesspool of bullshit, which it already has, honestly. It already has. Yeah, it sucks, man. Shaq Lindsay saying that's why, in my opinion, we will be one of the top teams in the East. Fuck this Raptors podcast who say we're going to be the 8th seed. Yeah, they're not being astute. And look, we got the receipts on this channel for 1,400 days plus. Every day I'm putting my money where my mouth is because I'm saying it with my mouth. And, I have a lot of good track record. In some ways, I'll put that bet against them with you, Shaq Lindsay, that we're going to be way better than the 8th seed, that I think we're going to be a top 4 Eastern Conference team that will have home court advantage in the first round this year. I will get in the same ring with Kendrick Perkins and Shaq Lindsay and believe in the Raptors making the playoffs because my man Ingram just promised me the playoffs. He said, we're going to the playoffs. And I'm going to believe B.I. I don't know B.I. that well. And when I meet people, I want to trust them and believe them when they say things. So I was like, Brandon just told me we're going to the playoffs. I'm going to do a trust exercise with him, see if he's full of shit or not. I think he's for real. I'm going to take him at his word because I have no reason not to believe him right now yet. But I'm going to take him at his word, and we'll see if Brandon comes through with Brandon's promise. Yeah, I'm going to call this all year. I'm going to say Brandon's promise says we're going to the playoffs, guys. And that's what I'll be saying. Yeah, I think that they're wrong, and we're going to be right, Shaq Lindsay. That's right. I hate it when Raptors fans are so jaded. Maybe that they're partly Leaf fans and they're just so beaten down by failure over centuries, or not centuries, decades. And it's just like, don't bring that Maple Leaf mentality about losing and we're doomed to fail over and over again with Raptors. No, don't do that. Don't sully us and put us down there. Because if you're conditioning as a Leaf fan, I'm sorry. If you are a Leaf fan first and a Raptor fan second, you do not see the Raptors clearly. I'm going to say that right now. You have to be Raptors first, or maybe even just completely a Raptors fan and not a Leaf fan to see the Raptors clearly. Now they'll say, I'm pie in the sky. I'm drinking the purple Kool-Aid. I'm the overly positive fan, the toxically positive fan. No, I'm somebody who's watched basketball for a long, long time, and I'm looking at it with my eyes open. If I saw things in a certain way, I would tell you. And I see things, a very talented Raptors team that's very deep, and they are going to be kicking some ass in the Eastern Conference. That's what I see right now. That's what I see. That's right. Seymour in the house. Yeah, Seymour just called. He's like, yeah, I'm going to call him. It's Thursday. It's the think tank. And this is what I think, Lex. And I'm coming through. That's right. I'm like, all right. So he's like, all right, I'll let the forklift come on in. Come on in, forklift. That's what I'm saying right there. That's right. That's right. Kaloy saying Clippers looking like the island of misfit toys. It's like the island of damaged old goods is what it is. The island of damaged old goods. Wizards are kind of the island of misfit toys. But the Clippers are the island of damaged old goods. Yeah. I don't get it, man. It's like, it is what it is. I'm glad Steve Ballmer ain't buying anything worthwhile there to get themselves somewhere. The failure of the Clippers since Kawhi went there is absolutely, just desserts from Raptors Nation. What we see. Yeah. I ain't upset that the Clippers ain't won since Kawhi's been there. No, he made a dumb mistake. Listen to his Uncle Dennis. And you get what you get, Kawhi. I'm sorry. I appreciate you going to Giants of Africa with Masai, though. I really do. Yeah, feeling bad for Ballmer. Such a good owner. I don't feel bad for him. That man is such a bloody rich, crazy-ass rich guy. And in some ways, he's happy. So you can't be mad. He can't be upset. He can't be upset. He's living his best life. And he's got all the toys and the happiness in his life that he can have, even if his team's not winning. Well, maybe he's not that blessed to have a championship team. That's right. Yeah. You said, yeah, feeling bad for Ballmer, but fuck billionaires. I love that. Kaloy added that last part. All right, here we go. We're going to give him a dunk for that one. Kaloy, you got another one. 61 on the dunk charts now. Yeah. I mean, it's like, hey, don't feel bad for him. Smooth saying Clippers would be a chip team if this was 2016. Yeah, if they were healthy in that age. Yeah. If they were healthy at that age. 2016 Harden, 2016 Kawhi, 2016 Beal. Sheesh. Yeah. That's a long time ago, though. That's 10 years ago almost. So, yeah, it's not that. LA Clippers plan is to be big players in free agency in the summer of 2027. Yeah, when all their guys retire because they're done. I could see that, Reggie. Only 3 players under contract by the time that summer rolls around. And is that also maybe around when Giannis and Joker are going to be a little bit disgruntled on their teams and be looking for other destinations? That, and to Cubto, Joker, they could, like I'm predicting right now, they're going to have bad years, and both of them are going to want to leave their team in the offseason next year. Giannis is going to for sure have a bad year in Milwaukee this year, and he's going to be pissed at the ownership because they've devalued the team to like the worst that it's been since he's been there. This is going to be a really bad year for Milwaukee. Watch, guys. And then Denver is going to be so-so. They're not going to be totally horrible, but they're not going to be moving in the right direction. And Nikola, if he does have any want to be out of Denver, he will voice it at the end of the year. I'm going to predict both of those right now. I was right about the Knicks and the Sixers last year and the Celtics. I was right about all 3 of our enemies last year and their outcomes of what happened to them when I predicted it last July. And, well, they all happened. Joel got hurt. The Sixers sucked. The Thibodeau overplayed his starters and ran them to the ground so they didn't get far enough in the playoffs. And the Celtics did not repeat because it's really hard to repeat in this league, and something got in their way. Yep, those 3 predictions were right last year. We'll see if I'm right this one. These 2. Dan Rowe's back. Good to see Dan Rowe. Great Raptor freak. Joakim Noah had a solid career. Yeah, I like Noah, the son of a tennis player, Yannick Noah. Yeah, he was. You know what I always liked about Noah was that he was a guy who hated the other players in the league. He didn't want to be friends with anybody, and that was really novel in the era of Vince Carter and Team LeBron being friends with Carmelo and Chris Paul and Dwayne Wade, and everybody's friends across the league. None of this like Magic and Larry hate each other. Barkley hates everyone on the other teams. That's the way they used to carry themselves. So Noah's like a throwback. He really didn't want to fraternize with the other team players. He was like, no, fuck you. I hate you. I don't want to hang out with you on off time and act like you're a friend of mine. I always respected that about Joakim Noah. I really did. Neil saying, turn the Warriors into pacifists tonight. There you go. That's an interesting war cry. Turn the Warriors into pacifists. I'm serious. Like, why isn't Pods on this team? Pods is not he's a second-year player, right? Isn't he? Wasn't he a rookie last year, or is he third year? I'm not even sure. It seems like Brandon Pods should be their star player on the Warriors Summer League roster, but he's not on the team. It's really weird. Criscom's here. Good to see the great Criscom, a prognosticator and predictor. Jay Lex, how are you feeling about that Raps versus Spurs championship prediction? Both teams have been bringing it. Yeah, that's a very likely outcome for the Summer League championship game, the Spurs versus the Raptors. It could be very interesting. Dylan Harper, Carter Bryant, and their team against our Raptors. We'll have to see. Yeah, the Spurs have been doing really well. Spurs Nation's very happy with their outcomes in Summer League like we are. They really want David Garcia-Jones to be signed to them, but the Spurs are not going to do it. And there's a lot of frustration in Spurs media, social media, about this David Garcia guy because they really want him. He's been absolutely their best Summer League player, but it doesn't seem like he's in the cards to be in their long-term goals. So there's a lot of fighting in social media spaces for Spurs fans about that player right now. It's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Good to see you, Criscom. Randolph saying, Lex, even Darko is saying on Reddit that Raptors didn't get enough credit for adding Ingram. Yeah. Well, that's because it hasn't been proved yet. I mean, we can't get credit for something that hasn't been proved yet. You know, there is still a chance that Brandon Ingram's a bust in this trade. And I hope that's not true. Knock on wood. There still is a chance that he is Otto Porter and he comes in, he barely plays for us, and it's like a disaster. That would make it look bad. So we can't say this yet. We have to have him healthy and back and producing and showing up. And then we can come around and say, y'all have slept on this trade. It's too early. We can't do it yet. He has to show up and do it yet. Yeah, you meant to say yo, not J. Yo. There used to be a guy on here named J.O., I believe, yeah. Shaq Lindsay saying, Masai saved us from utter disaster. If we surrendered to K. Leonard for his demands on trading for Kawhi Leonard, for his demands on trading for point guard for Westbrook and Paul George. Look at where they are now. The proof is in the pudding. Yeah, this is why you don't let players use their job title to be GM. Le GM, Kawhi GM, Uncle Dennis GM. No, none of this bullshit. And Masai and Bobby were strong and firm in the Quine and Dine era that, we will wine you and dine you with free dinners at restaurants around the GTA. We'll offer a free condo to you from a realtor that's a huge Raptors fan. We'll give you all this stuff, but we will not give you front office privileges to run our team and tell us who we need to acquire and not acquire. No, 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 no. You're a player. You're a franchise player. You're a MVP of the finals. And we love you for that. But don't step out of your job description. Sure, we'll hire Jonathan Castleberry. Sure, Uncle Dennis, you can sit in a special suite. But we're not letting you tell us who we're going to acquire. No, that's my job. My name's Ujiri. You know me. Yeah, that was a big. If that's the sticking point, in some ways that's also an excuse for Kawhi to say, "Yeah, well, I really want to go to LA. I mean, I don't care. The Raptors didn't let me choose who I was going to have with me. Well, I had to walk. Okay, that's fine. And in some ways, like Shaq Lindsay's saying, we averted disaster. We dodged a bullet. If we had gone with what Kawhi wanted, kissed his ass, we would have fucked up our franchise in the last 5 years. We would have been more like the Clippers right now. That's right. Seymour saying Ace Bailey and Queen wanted to be Wizards. Toxic players love toxic systems. In some ways, it's proximity to where they're from is what it is. I mean, Derek Queen's Maryland, and that's Washington. And that's part of why Derek Queen would want to play for the Wizards. Ace Bailey, he had designated he wanted to go there. Partly, isn't he Georgetown or something? No, he's Rutgers. Rutgers is not that far from Washington also. So, I mean, you may be right. Toxic players want toxic locations. But I think it's more that they were just comfortable. And maybe it's also they see the Washington Wizards need some help and they want to make a name for themselves by elevating them. That's quite often why a player may want to go to a shitty team like Charlotte or something like that, is because they want to have a Carter effect. They want to come in and make the name of that roster and that franchise known in the league. Vince Carter brought us to preeminence in the league as the Raptors. And there's ego in certain young players that like, I will go to Charlotte and I will make the Hornets a respected top team. Brandon Miller, LaMelo Ball, so maybe there's a little bit of that too. It's like the Wizards have been so bad, but I know in my head I could make them better. I'm the one who will change them. It's that kind of action in their head, right? Seymour saying sweep the season. Want to see sweep the Nets, the Bulls, Sixers, Blazers, Hornets, Wizards. Please, Raptors. No L's to those teams. I'm all about that. Yeah. Yeah. No L's to teams we shouldn't be losing to. Like, we owe the Blazers something. We owe the Bulls something. Yeah. A lot of those teams on that list are teams we owe a beatdown because they've been beating us in certain places they shouldn't. The Hornets and the Wizards not really deserving a beatdown, but we'll beat them down anyway. Yeah, we'll beat them down anyway. Sixers always deserve a beatdown. That's right. Yeah, Shaq Lindsay's got the KL cutoff. There you go. Bomb. KL bomb. 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 All right, let me keep going in my Instagram stories. Ava be hooping. And I'm telling you, man, I don't know what Ava Jones is eating, but she has grown her height. She looks like a big forward on that court with some small guards guarding her, and she's got some hooping moves, man. This is the thing. Andrew Jones is teaching his daughter how to slash, drive to the basket with defenders on her, and she's so good at finishing with people on her. It's just like she's RJ Barrett. I'm telling you, man. I even be hooping, and I'm loving to see the progress this summer. Coach Andrew Jones, you should be very proud of your daughter. She's got nice long limbs, and she's looking like she's going to be a prospect because you're really training her right, man. She's got good fundamentals, and she's definitely hooping. That's right. The Hoop Queens, the Cinderella story podcast is back. Ashley and Savannah are going to be coming every week on focus on women's sports in general, guys. They're not going to just be doing women's basketball. They're going to be doing women's hockey, the women's soccer, all women's sports. They want to cover them and put them on blast on Cinderella stories. The podcast is returning. Savannah Hamilton, Ashley Docking. Y'all give them the support and check them out. They're hilarious and they're fun and informative and just a badass creators. Honestly, they're on another level than me. That's for sure. Let's go. We got Lou Dort is on the red carpet and he's with some friends. Oh, it looks like it's Jalen Williams and Nickel, is that Nickel Alexander with him also? It looks like. I don't know who all is exactly with Lugette's, but they're at the ESPYs. Those are actually all. No, that looks like Nickel with the Warriors. Not with the Warriors, with the Thunder. It's Thunder players. That's whatchamacallit, that guy who comes off the bench that's so annoying. And that's Jalen Williams. Maybe that is AJ Mitchell. That may not be Nickel. I'm a little confused. Vin Bagnani has a picture of the Sphere, and it's a basketball. Very, very cool. Norman Powell's youth basketball camp is August the 23rd at Lincoln High School in San Diego, California. Registration is open. Don't miss it if you want to get training from Norman Powell, Playoff Powell, former Raptor champion. You can get it in San Diego on August the 23rd. So get down there. On the SB stage last night, they had Russell Westbrook and Oscar Robertson. And Norman Powell is commemorating and recognizing 2 triple-double legends. And that's pretty cool. Who was giving who an award? Was Russell giving Oscar an award, or was Oscar giving Russell an award? I'm not even sure. I think it's Oscar giving Russell an award. But either way, those guys are the only guys in the whole entire history of the NBA to average a triple-double for a season. And that's very special. It's very, very special. Orlando Robinson, well, he's not at Summer League with the Raptors like Colin Castleton, but he's got a 2026 Cadillac CT5 V Blackwing for him. It's a full wrap matte black or all-around ceramic tint, ambient lighting, and underglow on that vehicle that O-Rob's going to be running on, that Cadillac. Woo-wee! That's a nice ride. That is a nice ride, Orlando Robinson. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. RJ Barrett's got a picture up on his Instagram stories of him in the Wynn Casino Ballroom in that Raptors warm-up. The vets are in there working with the Summer League team. That's another reason why those guys do better, is because our veterans are committed to showing up in Summer League and making it a mini camp. And, it's the whole team practicing in that ballroom. The Summer League teams may be only Summer League practicing on a lot of the franchises of this league, but not the Raptors. Everybody's shown up and accounted for, the starters with the bench mob in the Summer League roster. And they're all working together and getting that time in. Brandon Ingram's cleared for 5-on-5 scrimmage, and he's out there working with them already and figuring out how he fits with the other guys. And that's a badass thing. So listen, I don't know if the other teams have most of their team there doing actual mini camp right now. Because a lot of these players in the NBA are taking their summers, and they didn't go to Vegas. That's right. That's right. Game day. We got it up for the Golden State Warriors. Our AJ Lawson is the poster boy for our game day post by Raptors official admin. So, yeah, good stuff. They were asking the Raptors what their favorite rap ad lib was. It's pretty cool. Jonathan Mobo, Quincy Guerrier, and Jameson Battle and stuff like that. It's lit, is what Jameson Battle said. It's lit, man. It's lit. Also, guys, they're saying this year, and maybe the Raptor Freaks might want to do this, guys. Bring your crew, 10-plus people, to Raptors game this season. Lock in your seats and enjoy group pricing, reserve seating, your name on the Jumbotron, and exclusive fan perks. Book now. Should we try and do this year? Get a group of Raptor Freaks, 10 at least, not more, and do a group, go to the game and sit together and see the Raptor Freaks on the Jumbotron saying, "Welcome to the Raptor Freaks." That'd be cool, man. Maybe we want to do this, guys. I don't know. If we can get it organized and enough people, maybe we will. Grady Dick is there with his girlfriend, Carla, and they're smiling, cheesy, and they're happy. And man, he looks like he's got a drink in his hand. Looks like he's drinking some whiskey or something. Grady, be careful there with your alcohol, drinking your whiskey. Yeah, just have fun. He's also excited about Stranger Things 5 is coming out, guys. The 5th season of Stranger Things is coming. And guess what? There's another Raptor veteran, Grady Dick, in the Wynn Casino Ballroom working out in his sweats with the rest of the team. That's what I'm saying. Grady's not on the Summer League roster. He's putting in that work, though. Jamal Shed has got some guy signing. It's his friend who just got signed to the Denver Broncos. He got drafted by them, and he signed his official contract. I forget what his name is. There's also a hip mobility off-season training workout, and they're showing Jamal Shed pointing his toe in different directions and working on his hip mobility. So he's doing some extensive flexibility training and balance training this summer. That's really been a lot of what I've seen Shed doing. He's also putting on blast Culture Kings And there's an action photo from the Summer League game right there. Let's see. Jacoby Walter in the interview after the game. He was the player of the game in the last game, the winner, winning player for us. Teresa Resch at that summit the other day where she was speaking on stage. Let's see. Mobo showing the crowd the reaction of the bench to the good plays. Yeah, the Raptors bench has been really fun, like the way they're reacting to everything. And it looks like the Summer League crowd was getting into it too. There's some Raptors fans sitting behind the Raptors bench, and they're getting all crazy. I still want to find Trevor in one of these pictures. I feel like, Trevor, we need to find you in the crowd at one of these Raptors Summer League games. There's enough camera angles and stuff. We should be able to find you somewhere. Go sit right behind the bench. Go sit right behind the bench. Elijah Martin's got his old jersey, number 15 with the Florida Gators, and his new jersey, number 55 with the Raptors. Yeah, you go, Elijah, man. You're in the right team. You get more of a path of a chance to make an NBA career on the Toronto Raptors. Just ask Norman Powell. There's Elijah's dog. He's so cute. He's got Morgan Wallen playing over him. It's like looks like some sort of pit dog. I'm not totally sure the breed, but he looks so happy and so docile in a field of yellow flowers. So I love to see your dog, Elijah Martin, with the dog picture there. Let's see. Scotty Barnes is cheesing out and happening and smiling hard and he's playing Drake over the song as the song. And Scotty's just living his best life. He loves the activities at Summer League and he loves his team. Let's just put it that way. He really loves his Raptors. That's for sure. Siakam is doing demo day and let's get it. It's something for Pascal's 43 Foundation. He's back in Toronto actually for this, guys. And he's going to give the tech to the kids. That's what he does. He gives the computers to the kids so that they can be better advantaged in their education. So Siakam's back in Toronto, giving the computers to the kids today through the PS43 Foundation. We love you, Siakam, and we're always happy to have you in our country, in our city. You are honorary Canadian. You are a Raptors legend forever. There's your Instagram stories. Siakam's in town with the computers for the kids. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Let's go. Let's see what else is going on here. Smooth saying Orlando Robinson about to be broke, man, because he bought that Cadillac. He's about to be broke. I don't know how much money Orlando has, but man, he needs to get on a team. He's probably sitting in the same position like Chris and Precious right now. It's just kind of like waiting out to see what's going on. Randolph saying, Lex, isn't Brandon Miller Canadian? How come he's not talked about around Team Canada? He's not Canadian. Brandon Miller's from the South. He's American, and he's not Canadian. He's not Canadian. Smith saying, flashy car with no money. Well, who knows, man? He just got a new car. We don't know how much money Orlando has. I mean, I could go look at it. Let me go see. We know we can check. You want me to go look? I'll go look, and we'll see how much money Orlando Robinson has made in his NBA career so far. And you may be shocked at how much he actually has and that he may be able to actually afford that. Okay, this is how much Orlando Robinson has made in his career so far in the NBA. He has made $3.5 million, basically $3.5 million. So he has $3.5 million. Let's just put it that way. I mean, that's not huge. That's not as much as a lot of guys make in a single year. But still, he has $3.5 million. I think he can still afford that car. I mean, geez. Yeah. Smooth saying, hopefully he gets an NBA contract to pay for the lifestyle or Europe. Well, that may be what happens. If Orlando's not going to get on a team this year, he's going to Europe. I'll bet you he does. He's being harsh. Sorry if I offended people. I don't think so. I want to worry about Orlando Robinson's finances like you too. I do. I won't worry about him. I want him to be okay because he's a good guy. I really do like Orlando a lot. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Raptors Reddit. We see what Randolph's saying. That Rajakovic is saying that the Raptors don't get enough credit for adding Ingram. And when you know what he means when he's saying this is that the public perception in the media is the Raptors are still mid. And they're not giving us the bump, the needle pusher that Brandon Ingram is. He's a needle pusher. Some people will say, oh, you get a certain player. That's not a needle pusher. That's not going to push them to the next level. Well, Brandon is a needle pusher. And nobody's recognizing that. And that's what Coach Rajakovic is trying to point out to everybody, is that y'all aren't giving us the proper respect and understanding the needle pusher that Brandon Ingram can be and bringing your team up a couple of levels. And that's what he's trying to say to them right there. It's like, y'all are not respecting this. It's not about how they're not getting credit for doing the deal. It's we're not getting credit for what he adds to our team and why they should be scared of us. That's what it is right there. Yeah, I think what else is on Raptors Reddit that's interesting. I like the picture of Scotty with OG. You know, at first it's so over filtered that Scott's face looks weird. Like OG's face is darker with the hood and the glasses on, and it's funny that OG's like totally being incognito. Like he literally went to the Raptors game and watched the Raptors summer league game. He's a Nick. But he came and he sat and watched the Raptors summer league game he had nothing to do with. That's what was going on. That's why there's a picture of OG with Scotty, because for some reason OG was there to watch the Raptors. I don't know why. But yeah, OG wearing the hood and the glasses, and Scotty have his face so lit up, it looked like AI. The picture did not look right to me, but it's a real picture. They were together. They over filtered it. That's what they did. Scotty don't look right. He looks way too like AI looking. Stop putting so many filters on your pictures, people. Jeez. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what else. There's nothing else on Raptors Reddit. It's stupid. All right, let's keep going. Happy birthdays today. Actually, you know what? It's OG's birthday, guys. Happy birthday to OG Anunoby. He is 28 today, guys. Happy 28th birthday, OG. Yeah, I hope you're having a nice time. You know, New York's a little chaotic. You know, you in some ways you're a folklore hero in New York already. They love you in New York. If they mistreat you, well, we wouldn't do what they're doing to you here in Toronto. We love you, OG. And in some ways, we just want the best things for you. Hopefully this year, your team will be shitty. And, you know, it is what it is. And I'm sorry. And I'm sorry that Cat is such a bum and that you have to yell at him on the bench because he's missing his defensive assignments. That's just how it is. Also, happy birthday to former Raptor Eric Williams, who's turning 53 today. Happy former. He was in the part of the Vince Carter trade, guys. He was one of the players that got traded to us with Alonzo Mourning and Aaron Williams. And that's kind of a sad part of the story with Eric Williams. Also, I want to say happy birthday to former Raptors freak trivia commissioner David Saborin. I've decided that, guys, I'm going to name, because David gave me this trophy, we're going to name this the Saborin Cup. I think we'll do that in honor of David, even though he's not really a part of the channel at this point. We're going to call the trophy that David gave us the Saborin Cup. The trivia championship is now called the Saborin Cup, officially on David's birthday today. And that's how I'll honor him after him being gone and passed from this channel. It's just how it is. But in some ways, yeah, David, happy birthday. And we're going to name this the Saborin Cup, guys. This trophy right here, the trivia championship trophy for this channel, is now the Saborin Cup. That's it right there. Boom goes the dynamite. That's right. That's right. Randolph saying, thanks for the correction, Lex. And my pardon my ignorance. Oh, I don't even know what it was. I moved on so quickly. I don't think you're ignorant at all. I think that it's just everybody, you know, gets different information. And you know what? My information isn't always accurate completely. So, you know, we got to do what we can do. There's my cue from my commissioner of fun, giving me the cue to get the classic card that he is commissioned for me to do on a daily basis because he sent the cards to me. So, guys, this is a really hard one. I'm going to say this right now. This is a 200-point card before you guys even see it. This is a classic one, and we need our old heads on here. All right, who knows who this player is? This is a weird one, man. This is a very, very tough one. And in some ways, I might need to give you guys clues on the name for you to get it because it's not easy. This is not an easy card in the least. So anybody with any guesses, I'll give you a clue on the first name and the last name once you give me a couple guesses, and then we'll go from there. Of course, it's an original Skybox card circa 1990. And this is a Sacramento King player, obviously. Look at the colors. Look at the ball, all with the streaks and the movement. Yeah, it's just a cool card. Skybox was such an innovative card set at that time. This is a really hard card, guys. And in some ways, I want y'all to just throw random guesses first. Don't worry if they're anywhere near right. And then I'll give you clues on their actual name with like other ways to get it. But this is a 200-point card. I'm going to tell you right now, this is a hard card. And I don't want to waste too much time on this. I feel like we get into a stymie at the end here because you guys aren't giving me guesses. So go ahead and just go off the top of your head. Even if you're not totally sure, just throw some names out there and we'll get closer to getting it. But if we're just going to sit here, well, maybe I'll put the card up and we'll stop. But we do need some guesses, guys. because we stall out right now, and I'm about to be done. I got less than a minute until 2 hours. So you guys are on the clock. In some ways, this is like a timed event now. Where are Smooth and Slugged Easy? That's right. Fiercely, just throw names out, and I'll give you clues, and you'll get there. Just throw names out. Anybody who's here who can see the card, just throw names out. Smooth is here. I see his comments up above. So he should be able to look at it and just give me an educated guess, and I'll guide you guys to it. If we don't get this done in the next minute, I'm going to go ahead and close it and say nobody got it today. Terry Teagle. All right, Slugged Easy. Terry Teagle is not right. This guy's first name is the same first name as the Texas Rattlesnake. His first name is the same first name as the Texas Rattlesnake. So that's his first name. And if you know the Texas Rattlesnake is, you know his first name. So we'll go from there. And if I get a guess, guessing the first name right now, then we'll go ahead and give you another clue for the second name. So first you got to get the first clue. This guy has the same first name as the Texas Rattlesnake. Who is the Texas Rattlesnake? If you know who the Texas Rattlesnake is, you know who the first name of this guy is. So come on. I want to guess with that first name in it, and then I'll give you a clue for the last name, guys. I'll give you a clue for the last name. You guys, we went over 2 hours. We've run out of time. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Who's the Texas Rattlesnake, guys? Just write a name in with that first name on it. Man, nobody wants to play classic card anymore. You guys used to be so aggressive on these. And now it's like, man, it's like pulling teeth. Keith Owens? Keith, no, Texas Rattlesnake? Keith Owens. Billy Owens? Keith Askins? No. Steve. Jill knows the first name of it. So the first name of this player is Steve. Jillian knows that the Texas Rattlesnake is Steve Austin. Gianna Sky saying, hello, I admire Raptors assistant coach Mike Batiste. Great player back at the 2000s and great coach. Steve Coulter, look at that. Dan Rowe coming in and grabbing it. I love it, man. Look at that. Dan Rowe, if you do stuff like this, you'll get Raptor Freak Rookie of the Year all of a sudden coming in, a new entity around the channel more. I know you were here before for just a sec, but you've been more strongly around recently. Getting the classic card. 200 points for Dan Rowe, 89 on the Steve Coulter card. That's a tough card, man. Not many people are going to remember Steve Coulter. That is really impressive. That's super impressive. You're getting trivia points today, Dan. You're getting trivia points right here. Steve Coulter was the card, and it's Dan Rowe, 89, getting it today. I love it, man. That's so cool. I like to see somebody new get a card. This is somebody who's not gotten a card ever. So boom goes the dynamite. Look at that. The Steve Coulter has been conquered by Dan Rowe. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, getting back to Gianna Sky's comment about Mike Batiste. Many people don't understand that we have a legend on our coaching staff that people don't know. Bulldozer Batiste is a Hall of Famer in Greece. Like he is like he's considered like one of the top 5 greatest players to ever play in that country over there. Like he's insanely like revered over in that league over there. He didn't do anything in the NBA, so nobody knows about him over here. But over there, Mike Batiste is a big deal. Let's just put it that way. And I'm starting to get the picture here that Giannis Sky is a fan from Greece, and that he may be a Raptors fan and maybe a little interested in the Nuggets situation with Jonas Valanciunas. So good stuff, Giannis Sky. Good to see you back in the chat again. Thank you. You're welcome. And look, Jillian wants half points. No, we don't half-ass it here. Jill, you needed the second half of the name, but I'm glad to see you back in the chat this morning, Jill. Congrats, Mr. Dan. There you go. That's good sportsmanship. All right, let's get out of here. Not too long after 2 hours. Tonight, against the Warriors, the Raptors need to continue what they've already been doing, which has been winning, and playing that swarming, spam, steal defense. It's really working well because the Raptors can play horrible on offense and still win games. It's amazing. Now, the Warriors, they have a little bit of balance on their squad. They've been not really having any one player just step up and just dominate and carry them. We've had that a bit with AJ Lawson and to a degree, Jacoby Walter. But there's nobody really that I'm saying they need to key on. Maybe Canadian Jackson Rowe, but I think our talent's way better than theirs. Our connection's way better, and we should kick their ass. So I'm predicting a Raptors win tonight. I'd like it to be a rout, but if the Raptors can't get their offense going again and can't make free throws, well, maybe another eker, another close game that's within 5 points. So we'll just have to see how it goes. If the Raptors can get going offensively and really kick some ass, they'll blow them out of the water. But if they can't get going offensively, it may be a close one, which may be similar to the last 2 games. So we'll have to see how it goes. Raptors, get that 4-0, and let's get in the championship bracket for the Summer League this weekend in Las Vegas. Trevor J wants to go to the championship game and see y'all win the Summer League championship. So let's get it done, Raptors. I believe in y'all. Y'all, I'll be in the Discord server tonight talking during the game. If you guys want to come in there and chat during the game, we can talk during the game. If you're a member of this channel, you have access to get in there. Shaq Lindsay, you have access in there, right? You're on our Discord server, Shaq, right? Because, come on in there. You guys are great supporting people of the channel, and come on in there. That's right. Push the like buttons. Thank you, Jill. I appreciate that. All right, y'all. Have a great Thursday. Thanks for calling today, Seymour. And I appreciate everybody. Thank you, Trevor J. Thank you, David. Happy birthday. And that is now officially the Saborin Cup, guys. We're going to name that cup the Saborin Cup going forward. That's right. It's a W stream. Thank you, Fiercey. And maybe Fiercey's name will be on that cup next year. That'd be awesome. We'll put Fiercey Saucero. Actually, you're winning in the trivia right now, Fiercey. You're number 1 in the trivia right now. All right, let's go, Raptors.